Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The City of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Flow means you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. 954-735-9820.
This is the Big O Show!
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show! You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop, blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. OKCoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. OKCoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, zero transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty, welcome aboard, folks. Good morning on a beautiful Thursday. Big O, Sean Stanley with you. We are ready to rock and roll. You ready to rock, Sean? You ready to roll? You ready? You ready? You ready? All right, I like it. And we are at our favorite place on a Thursday, which is, of course, Hialeah Park. So we're out here every Thursday having some fun. We're in the second floor poker room. So those of you that want to come by and say hi, love to meet you. So come on by. Every Thursday we're out here, man. Normally out here at the poker room, like, you know, we were at the Champions Simulcast Center last week because of the boxing events, which, by the way, we had Sean. By the way, we haven't really discussed on the air the amazing boxing events that we had, events actually, because we had the press conferences, the weigh-ins, and then obviously the matches. And I thought Friday night was the bomb here, dude. What a crowd, bro, right? Huh?
Yeah, it filled out very well.
Man.
It filled out extremely well.
Yeah, dude. It was it's a great atmosphere.
Some areas standing room only.
I know.
It really, I mean, again, I didn't know about expectations, but it definitely exceeded the expectations. And
I thought
the
this
product
would be
in the ring actually exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
You know, again, because, you know, some of the names you don't know that much about.
Right.
Some making their debuts, some second. I mean, I know they said they had 92 amateur fights, but now you're stepping up, you know, against some bigger opponents. And there was a lot of, you know, again, we said it before, you know, the 6 matches leading up, not as well.
Well, there were some nice fighters in it.
Good
but
fighters, yes.
They didn't have the proper competition.
Yeah, there you go.
But you saw some guys that you were like, oh, crap, dude.
Yes.
You know, I like that, you know.
There's guys to keep eyes on.
Right. The last 4 matches were and I got to say, I got to give Henry a lot of credit because he put it in the proper order.
Yes, he did. Yeah, it was very well. It built up. It didn't go up, although the no, actually, I think it was the first of the 4, right? Was that one where everybody was
going crazy.
Cuban fighter,
forgot
against the guy from Dallas,
right? Yeah,
and it was just that was a crazy atmosphere that fight right there.
Yeah, that one because you're talking where is it?
Actually, I think it was the third
Drew
one.
Correll.
No, that one was good, but then the one right after. Remember, it was the one after Corral, the one right above Corral.
Abraham Martinez and Orestes Velasquez.
Yes, Velasquez,
right?
Dallas, the Cuban fighter,
right. The guy with the tassel shorts.
Yes,
exactly. Yes,
and they were going back and forth for a while, and then the Cuban fighter wore him down and then just started unloading on him.
And
then,
great sportsmanship at the end.
Yeah, there was 16 seconds left in the fight. I believe it was an 8-round fight. 16 seconds left was when he finally got the knockout.
Yeah,
or the TKO.
It was good, man. There was a lot of good fights here, so I'm looking forward to them. I'm hoping that we get the next card soon, and we pick up on it, because this is the kind of the crowd we saw. I thought was the crowd after you've had 2 or 3 of these events consecutively.
Honestly, yes, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the potential is there, man. That you can create like the atmosphere.
Setup is perfect.
Yeah,
and that setup is Miami.
Yes.
Really, it's Miami. It's outside. It's it's just,
it's pretty awesome, man. It's pretty freaking awesome. So let's have some fun today here at Hialeah Park, and looking forward to it. I can't wait. I hope Henry and the boys are getting ready, and who knows, there might be some special stuff coming down here at Hialeah Park where we're going to see. Listen, we need something that's kind of a home for boxing. You know what I mean? We need it. It's just, those are the facts. We need it. And for those of us that are boxing fans, I had a great night. I was able to walk around a lot and hang out and talk to different people, and it was fun checking out the matches from different angles, because I was able to walk around a little bit. So I enjoyed myself, because I wanted to really see everything going on and kind of take in the entire atmosphere. And it was a lot of fun, man. I really liked what I saw last Friday here at Hialeah Park. All right, so we got a bunch of things to do here on the program, people to talk to, of course. 11 a.m., Joe Shad will stop by for our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report. Got a lot of football insiders today. Alan Poupart will be joining us at 11:30. And then Marcel Louis-Jacques will stop by at 12:30. So you will have 3 guys breaking it down and giving you their opinions on everything that's developing so far with the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is the disturbing part about this story, okay? Obviously, we await to see what kind of proof Brian Flores has in this case, right? And we saw that the owner came out, and we'll get into it, and pretty much, denied everything that Flores has accused them of. So, and they've got to do that, obviously. I mean, I don't think you expected anything else in all of this. But here's the part that's going to suck about all of this. Remember, Bullygate lasted a little while, right? And Spygate lasted a while. Deflategate lasted a while. Well, get ready, folks. This is going to last a while. This is going to go to the courts. Look what's going on right now with Deshaun Watson, right? Those cases are taking forever, right? It's putting a hold on Deshaun Watson's career. Now, maybe he deserves it because maybe he's guilty and maybe he's not. I don't know. But the bottom line is he can't play, right? So that he's lost a year on his career. He can't get that back. Ask Le'Veon Bell. You don't get it back. It's not one of those things like, okay, no, well, we'll chalk it down to another year. It's all good. Like we can do that. Well, we didn't have a good year. Well, we'll have another one. I've been at it for 32 years, longer than any athlete could ever play in their sport. You know what I'm saying? You can too if you're a mailman and if you're a teacher and you're a salesperson or whatever, you're a casino manager. You can have many years, you know what I mean? But in athletic years, you only get a certain amount. Your shelf life is your shelf life. You are milk. You will expire, okay? And when you expire, you can't do it anymore. So Deshaun Watson already lost a year on his career on that one. Now, the good thing in this case is there's not an athlete involved in the middle of it that is losing any time on their careers. But my point is, this is going to hang on us and around us for a while. And that's the part that's going to really stink, that we've got to deal with this forever. And this is the other thing that gets interesting, because Hugh Jackson came out yesterday and, the allegations weren't nearly as direct, let's say, as Flo. Like, Flo did it in a way that he must have some kind of proof. He must feel that he's going to get the right people to corroborate his story, or he's got to have something tangible to prove it, right? So I don't know what it is. I don't know what his lawyers have or whatever. And, I saw the interview with the guys from New York, and it was really there. It's just a long conversation. There really isn't a lot of substance, behind it anyway. Some guy sent it to me like, "Oh, check this conversation out. Real insight." I'm like, I listened to like 35, I think 37 minutes of it while I was driving, and it was like nothing. It's just lawyers and a lot of hot air, and one idiot had Chris Greer in charge for 20 years, and it's like, okay, it's whatever. I lawyer talk is lawyer talk. There was nothing there. One guy sent it to me, goes, "Oh, they asked really tough questions." No, they asked the same questions that everybody else asked. No different. They could just sit there and elaborate a little bit more, but really what they were doing is pontificating, not elaborating. They were just hot airing the whole thing. They can't give you anything. That's the thing. They can't tell you what proof they have. He couldn't even verify certain conversations at times. So it was just, we'll wait for the court case, but it's going to take forever. And the NFL, here's the twisted part for us Dolphin fans. We may not be able to get rid of Stephen Ross as quick as we want to. Because, listen to this. Listen, pay attention to me here. The NFL doesn't want this, that all of a sudden Cleveland and Miami are cheating and trying to lose on purpose. Because then that goes to the integrity of the game. They're tying themselves to betting companies now, right? So you want to be on the up and up as much as possible. So the NFL can't allow this to actually get out. So the NFL is going to have to get into cahoots with the Dolphins. And I don't know what the situation with the Browns are, because I got to tell you, when it comes to credibility and Hugh Jackson, Flo, I look at Flo differently. While Flo's an ogre, and I don't think Flo is a people person, all that, I don't think Flo's a BSer. I think Flo's like one of those real straight shooters no matter what. And so if I kind of believe him that Ross, offered him that. We'll see what proof he has on it. We really don't know, and we'll see, but I just, my gut feeling is that I can believe Flores, but Hugh Jackson's one that it's just a guy that I don't know, man. I've seen too much stuff from him that it was probably a lot of bad coaching. See, at least I saw Flo coach his ass off and try to win games. Go ahead.
No, I was looking at the chat as you were talking, and Joe Cavillion kind of hits it on the head. Patriots cheat to win. Miami cheats to lose. Go figure.
Exactly. And that's why Flo wasn't for it. I'll cheat to win, but I won't cheat to lose. I'll cheat. Yeah, no, I'll coach for the guy that spies on teams. I'll coach for the guy that spies on signals. I'll coach for the guy that interferes with the headsets in the stadium. Right? Right? Because, that's Belichick has been known for all those things. Oh, no, but I won't cheat to lose. That's kind of the part of Flo that I look at and I say, you're such a two-faced there, dude. Give me a break. You worked for the ultimate cheater for years. So please, that's, to me, that's the funny part about all of this.
But with the Patriots, and again, I guess too with the Dolphins, is is it cheating if you don't get caught? Because they were doing that way before the instance where they got caught. They just got caught on the one instance,
right?
And then they got labeled as cheat. Or
right,
more than one instance. I'm sorry, but on the instances,
yeah, because the Bengals thing also. Remember?
Yeah. I mean, they got caught on instances, but Is it towing the line to how bad you want to win until you get caught? Then you're a cheater,
Right.
or
That's basically it. That's basically it. If you're cheating and you're trying to win and you get away with it, well, hey, but if you got caught, well, everybody else does it, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but the cheating to lose
But
thing
cheating
is
to lose is like, that's the ultimate right there,
Like I said, questions the integrity. I mean, again, cheating to win, I guess, questions
scuffling the
integrity.
baseball because he's trying to win. He's trying to get an edge. Guy's quirking the bat. He's trying to win. He's trying to get an edge. Barry Bonds shooting himself up or rubbing some clear cream, trying to get an edge. We're the losers trying to lose an edge. It's just... It's the opposite. You drink Edge energy drink to get the edge.
Oh, live on the edge.
So that's the problem. Now we figured it out. The Dolphins need the edge.
Yeah.
If they had Edge energy drink the entire time,
you need to send them some cases.
I think so. John,
Stephen Ross,
let's go. You got to send the Dolphins some cases. They need the edge. Got to get it. And if you need the edge, by the way, the link is right below for a little Edge energy drink there. Marino Castillo, thank you for the love on the super chat. Big O, looks like Ross has lawyers up. From what he and his army of lawyers stated, it looks like Flores doesn't have strong evidence at all. What do you think? Dude, I don't know. We'll see. We'll all see. I mean, you don't make that kind of a claim if you don't have something. Now, if you want me to make a guess so we can have some fun on radio, because that's what we do, we go with our gut like, hey, what do you think? I think in this case, they must feel they're going to get somebody to tell the truth under oath. Because unless you've got a videotape or audio tape of it, how else are you going to prove it? Unless you receive money, how else are you going to prove it? So the only way is if anybody that's present and or messages, email, texts, if you left that kind of a trail, woo, doggy. That's also one that could hurt you. You know what I mean? So, Marino, none of us really know what's going on. But if you make that kind of a claim, you've got to feel pretty good that you've got some proof. Now, here's the thing. And this is why I tell you this thing can drag on forever, right? And we're going to find out if Flo has what it takes or he's just taking a check like Colin Kaepernick did and really never made any change. And, here you may not make any change again because this is what I'm telling you. If the NFL doesn't want this to come out and they get in cahoots with the Dolphins or the Browns, by the way, if the Browns are also in this mix, because of the optics of it, they all have to stand by each other on this to make sure none of it gets out. Now, question is, if there are people that overheard it, and then it's only a he said, and everybody else says, I don't know what he's talking about. He's crazy. Ross didn't say that. And so then they make him look like the crazy guy, and he, is accusing people of something that didn't happen, then that means they're all willing to perjure themselves. They're all willing to take it to the grave, okay? Because obviously they would all go to jail if they get busted for perjury. So if everybody's in cahoots and everybody's good, then they can actually hold it against Brian Flores, and Brian Flores will never be able to prove it. And if it becomes a he said, then they say, well, he's just crazy. He's just bitter. He lost his job, this and that. The race thing, it exists big time in the NFL. I think he has zero chance to prove the race thing. You know that, right? Zero. Even the Giants situation. I told you yesterday, I've been in the boss position where I have to hire people and interview several people. And I already knew who I wanted to hire. And I still interviewed 2 or 3 more people because I had the interviews set up already. And I said, you know what? Maybe I find something in those people. But if I don't, I already know who I want to hire. I'm sorry, but that's life. That's human nature. When you're done with a specific interview with somebody and you feel good about it. And the other thing is, come on, ladies and gentlemen, we all knew Dable was going to the Giants. We said if he doesn't go to the Dolphins, it's because he's going to the Giants because his general manager is the guy he was working with in Buffalo. He wasn't working with Brian Flores. He's working with Brian Dable. If you don't have common sense there, I'm sorry, what show was saying Dable 1, McDaniel 2? Right here. Okay. I mean, it's like some shows actually can tell you, hey, listen, they've got Dable 1 and they've got McDaniel 2. That's it. There we go. And there's no Harbaugh in the mix. Are you all convinced of that finally? Holy crap, dude. Jesus Christ, he kept going with the stupid Harbaugh stuff.
Well, he went back because he's worried to get into bed with Stephen Ross now. That's
right.
That's the thing now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
the Ross allegations.
He turned it down behind the scenes.
Yeah,
he turned it down. Yeah. I mean, it's just okay. So I'm wrong, but let me create a narrative that makes me feel better about it. It's like, yeah, right. Harbaugh was never in the mix here.
No, I don't think he's ever in the mix here. I think with Minnesota, though, I think they're getting rid of Kirk Cousins, and he probably wanted to keep that team together because that team is built.
It's good.
It's a good team.
It's a really good team.
I don't think they're going to keep it together. I think they're going to rebuild.
It's a quarterback away from really like going deep into the playoffs.
Yeah. I think there's going something on in there, and he was like, okay.
Kirk Cousins is a nice player. He puts up stats, but he's just not the guy.
Yeah. And you did hear, though, that he said this will not happen again. He told Michigan that it will not happen again. This instance, he's done. He's going to stay with Michigan as long as they want him.
Okay.
So we'll see how long that is.
He's just a
If I'm Michigan, I fire him today.
He's just, he's such an underachiever, dude. Alan D. Flores hired his childhood friends as lawyers. That's what happens when humans hire humans. Yeah, I was listening to the interviews with the lawyers, and it's just whatever, bro. I just hope he has the proof, and for Stephen Ross's sake, there better be no proof. Okay, all right. But here's the part that I was gonna tell you. We may end up stuck with Ross. This is when all of this is said and done. We may end up being stuck with Ross. Why? The NFL cannot allow this to get out. They have to protect the Dolphins. They have to protect the Browns. They have to get in cahoots everybody. If there's any kind of proof that they have to fight, they have to come together as one and fight it and crush it. And at least if there's doubt, but there can't be proof. You can have your doubts about what happened. Okay? We can have our doubts what happened in the John Kennedy assassination. We can have our doubts what happened in Brentwood that night with OJ. We can have our doubts what happened in Chappaquiddick. But if you don't have exactly what happened to Marilyn Monroe, it just stays a mystery. And that's Area 51, and that's whatever has happened in our lifetimes, that it's here or there. It's does it really exist? Did it really happen? This, that. And so as long as you keep it as a myth, you're fine. But the second you make it a fact, then it becomes history. Then it becomes held against you. Shoeless Joe Jackson and the Black Sox, Pete Rose, and it becomes history. So you can't allow it to become history. So the NFL, the Miami Dolphins, and the Cleveland Browns are going to fight this so it doesn't become history and it stays myth. It stays legend. It stays what really happened. why did Pat Riley have that cut in his head that day? All of these things. What was Willie Green on that night in the hotel that nobody ever knew? Keep the myth. Keep it questioned. Keep it in doubt. You do that and you're successful because you can never argue it either way, right? Even though Ben Roethlisberger did something, but you can't prove it because there was a off-duty cop outside that bathroom door. So nobody knows what went on. Keep the myth. Keep the doubt. And that's the worst part. That's our nightmare. That's our nightmare. And you guys know, man, my cynical mind has been following sports for over 30 years. And I don't know what it is about it, but sometimes I just see these things that are developing, and I'm telling you, we're stuck with Ross. So unless he has hardcore proof, it's going to be hard because they're going to team up together probably. Unless somebody breaks from the pack and is willing to speak, if there's any truth to be spoken, by the way, because Flores may be lying. It's the only way it happens. But right now, it doesn't benefit the the NFL, to punish and expose Stephen Ross because it exposes the NFL. And it opens up a can of worms for the Browns, and who knows what else lurks back there. So don't be surprised if after this long-winded trial, there's nothing proven and the NFL walks away scot-free, and then they can't do anything to Stephen Ross because they were protecting Stephen Ross. Even though they know maybe Stephen Ross could be guilty, they won't be able to do anything. And because he's nearly 80 years old, they're going to go, well, he's close to retirement anyways. Let's just let him walk out into the sunset, with his dignity, and let's not crush him on the way out. If that's what happens, I'm just telling you, you know where you heard it.
Hey, Big O, there was one super chat
that
didn't get to Devin Jordan.
I'm sorry, Devin.
He said, Big O, do you see
There it
the
is.
NFL going to a draft lottery like the NBA to prevent this from ever happening again?
No, because first you have to prove it happened. That's what I just went through. So I answered your question, really. So, no. The Teflon League will try to be Teflon, my man. Okay? You think anybody looked at it that way yet? Has anybody gone into the layers of looking at what's going to happen down the line? Doubt it. Okay? And I'm sorry because it's depressing, right? I mean, it's depressing. Because some of us were like, okay, well, wait a minute. If this is true, then wow, we rid ourselves of Stephen Ross and all these stupid things. Because if he really did this, you don't want an owner like this, right? Because if this is true, oh my God, there's no way I want Stephen Ross ever to own this team. But now what happens if they're all in cahoots and they all band together and you can't prove it? And that becomes the issue. Pat in Asheville says, this is the most depressed I've ever been about the Dolphins. It's like your a-hole parents divorcing and burning it all down with you still in it. It is kind of crazy, right? It is kind of crazy. Oh, and funny how Flo says Ross asked him to cheat when he worked for Belichick for 15 years, and he was a cheater and Kraft a pig messing with massage parlors. Flo has good intentions. Yeah, I know. That's the part that's completely phony about Flo. Every bone in his body. I'm sitting there listening to his lawyers talk to the New York guys, and it's like, well, he's an integrity guy. And I'm going, dude, he worked for Belichick for a ton of years. He knows Belichick was cheating left and right. Everyone knows Belichick cheats. What, are you kidding me? So all of a sudden now he got on his high horse? Oh, no, Stephen Ross, I'm not going to tank. No, 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 no. I will cheat to win, but I'm not going to cheat to lose. No, there's a difference, Mr. Ross, in cheating. You only cheat to win. That's what respectable people do. Okay? We cheat to win. We bring extra aces cards in here to the poker room and try to win. We cheat to win. No. Can you imagine? Has that ever that's got to happen, right? Some guy brings in his own aces into a casino. God, can you imagine that? The ass kicking that you get.
Oh, that'd have to be an inside job, right?
No, I mean, there's got to be.
You
got to be
in
the lifetime.
Right?
There's got to be a stupid guy that thought.
I would probably be that stupid guy. Pull out
No,
like
you would not.
The back of the cards would be red, and I'd have one blue one I'd brought from home. Like, wait, what's the blue card?
You can't do that, bro. I mean, they'll take you out back, and you're done, man. You're done. They'll sink you in the lake, and the flamingos will eat
fishes,
you.
Yes,
the flamingos will eat you here. Yeah. Okay, the flamingos will pick you apart.
I think I saw an alligator.
Fly, flamingo. Huh?
On the island. I think I saw a gator like bathing out there. I believe it was.
It's possible.
Either that or a huge iguana that just woke up from the freeze.
It's possible. It's possible. Flo's dirty laundry will come out too. Yeah, but there's going to be a lot of dirty laundry. There's going to be a lot of Don Henley going out there. Okay? A lot of Don Henley. And they're going to tell you about the plane crash with the gleam in their eyes, like the girl from Channel 10. Have you seen that girl from Channel 10? Lisette something. Very pretty girl. She does traffic also. Every time I watch her on the news, I think Don Henley, dirty laundry. She tells me about the most gruesome things with the most enthusiasm I've ever seen in my life. Well, the plane crashed today, then 15 people died, and 87 of them died on fire. It's just one of those things that just like, yo, slow down there. Slow with the enthusiasm a little bit there. Okay? I forgot her name, Lisette something. I think it's Lisette. I'm not exactly sure. She's on Channel 10. I know that. There are important questions in life. Will Joseph Ojo do a stand-up without his last button being tied? I mean, these are things that just go through my mind. That's all I'm saying. These are things that I think about, right? I always wonder about Joseph Ojo. Always like this. Like every live shot, my man is buttoned up to the top. It's never loose. No. People that don't live locally or watch local news have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Gilbert Martinez, thank you for the love on the super chat, my brother. I appreciate you. Steve Rose, he says, the assertion of walking out when asked to meet the QB undermines all credibility. Tampering is so prevalent that no one would ever react like that. I mean, now, listen, again, this is Stephen Ross. This is why we believe this stuff from Flo. Do you know why? Because he went to go get Harbaugh while he had Sperano. So that history associates Stephen Ross with being guilty in these accounts. Even though he's not, because he's innocent until proven guilty. Okay, and so is Flo, innocent until proven whatever the hell. Okay, I get all of that. But when you make those kind of charges and we know his history, we're like, yeah, that's Stephen Ross. Yeah, no, he celebrated the Gators when he hosts the Canes every day. Yes, no, that's Stephen Ross. No, that's Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross does these stupid things. He has very little awareness at times of what the hell he's doing. So he's very capable of doing it. That's the problem. But as I told you, the NFL cannot want this out, even though they would love to crush Stephen Ross for this. But now Hugh Jackson opens his mouth, and they're like, no, we can't have this. This is bad for our league because the next time there's a game and there's anything questionable, well, wait a minute, the Dolphins and the Browns were cheating. Who's to say, what do you mean the Panthers weren't trying to cheat in that game? Look, this. And so once you create that doubt, oh, doggy, it's over. It's over. Look at the NBA. The NBA has that stigma, and they'll never lose it. Let's see what else. Samuel Loomis, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He says, do you think Flo is trying to take down Miami because of his relationship with New England? I mean, look what he did to the team. I'm not paranoid, LOL. No, I don't think so. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I just think Flo is angry. And I think Flo is angry and frustrated. And I'll give you an example of his frustrations. And this is what it's led to. Because he legitimately thinks he was a candidate, and because people were telling him, like, the lawyers were saying, well, Mara called him and said, no, you're my guy. And who knows exactly how he phrased it and all that, but the lawyers or whatever. And people, they're going to tell you what you want to hear. But that doesn't mean, if any of us have been through job interviews and gone through the process, and sometimes you feel good about it and then you don't end up getting it, and people will, sometimes you might feel you're in the lead and then something else happens. And I think Brian Flores had a higher opinion of himself than what was really out there. And these teams are going to end up hiring whoever the hell they want. Okay, in the end. And are there going to be racist tones to it sometimes? Of course, we know that. But the Rooney Rule is not going to force anybody to hire a minority, dude. It's just not. It's just not going to speed up the process to give Flo a job or Ron Rivera a job. It's not. They're still going to hire whoever they want, and they're going to go through the process. And guess what, folks? You can't do anything about it. If you own a business, who the hell's going to tell you who you want to hire? You can't. And you can't force someone to hire someone that they don't feel is qualified or they're not comfortable with. That's the reality, man. What were you going to say?
No, the one thing I think that's getting left out is when Mara did talk to Flores, it was before he hired Schoen.
Yeah, you're right.
The second interview was with Schoen, and Schoen probably already had his mind made up that his guy was Daboll.
Right, because he's comfortable
That
with
was
him.
the whole thing with the second interview. He was just going to meet Schoen, or hopefully I'm saying his name right.
Schoen, yeah.
Schoen and the other assistant GMs that were just hired. That's what the second interview was for. So, again, that conversation with Mara may have happened, but again, the guy making the decisions
is the GM.
Right. Which obviously Mara's taking the GM's
and they need and because he had just worked with Josh Allen, and Daniel Jones is clonish to Josh Allen. He's not the same type of he's not the same exact athlete, but he is the same type of athlete. So why would you hire Flores? You're going to hire Daboll. I mean, give me a break. The owner just said we've done everything to screw this kid up. So what are you going to do? Hire a defensive coach? Yeah. No. So you go hire the guy that just, made Josh Allen a quarterback. That's what you do. So Flo has an inflated opinion of himself. And as I've told you over the last week and a half, that I still don't think guys like Caldwell or Peterson or even Flo are really taken serious. And they're kind of being brought through the ringer, but not really going to be given a job, that kind of stuff. And I know Peterson still I think he's going for another interview, but it just doesn't seem like anybody's really going to hire. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. We'll see.
I think at one point you're running out of candidates, right?
Yeah,
there's still 6 jobs open, I believe.
There is 6. That's right, because they haven't hired another person yet. No, you're right.
No, there were 7, but the Vikings have pretty much hired, they're saying the Rams OC is pretty much got that job. So then I'm taking it down to 6. I think right now there's 7
Right.
with the Vikings, but the Vikings right now are leaning toward the offensive coordinator of the Rams. So I would knock it down to 6. I haven't heard 6 names I mean, I'm not following every head coaching vacancy open, but the names that I've heard, there's nobody else that can interview, right?
No.
You can only put in the list of the guys
Right.
you want to interview. So now your list is your list.
Yeah. And the Jags now are leaning to who was it that I saw that they're leaning to now? Oh, damn it. Did I write it down here?
And I think Peterson may end up getting a job just because of
Default?
I think so, in a way. It's leaning that way, right?
I don't know.
I'm thinking the Saints.
Man, who did I just see that was going to the Jags? I just saw that and I forgot now. But there's somebody already rumored to the Jags. Hawaiian Punch. He says, I believe Harbaugh would have been announced as Finn's head coach if not for Flores' suicide blast. Vikings talk with smokescreen. Hawaiian Punch. Why do you do that to yourself, bro? Why do you do that to yourself? He was never in the mix in Miami, dude. Never. Not at all. Okay? There are 3 personnel people that are not going to allow him to be in the mix. Just so you'll know. And Ross was not going to crap on Michigan that he loves probably more than the Dolphins. Okay? He probably loves Michigan more than the Dolphins. I think people have a hard time understanding that, and yet it's like they never interviewed him. They never, ever talked about him or anything, yet just because of the Ross connection, that's the only reason some of you like convince yourselves that there was any truth to it. He was never coming here at all. Never in the mix. Yes.
Bisaccia from the Raiders.
Right. I think
believe he interviewed for the job.
He's one of them.
Yeah, and then
but there's
they brought Peterson in for a second.
No, there's another offensive mind that I thought was like that I thought was the one that was the favorite, and I thought that's actually a pretty good one for them because of the quarterback. But that's what he needs. That quarterback needs somebody to help him, dude. You know what I mean?
Daryl Bevell?
No, man. I don't know why.
I'll go through and try to figure it out.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm thinking another name. I don't know why. Oh, there's a Finn guy claiming Flo was a man of honor among a den of snakes. If true, was half the players gathering in public outrage over his firing? There hasn't been outrage, bro. There's no outrage from Dolphins camp on his firing, even from players. And here's the thing. You saw what happened with Kenny Stills. You saw what happened with Minka. You saw what happened with all his coaches. Give me a break, dude. All right, I always laugh with Flo. No, I was born to coach. Yeah, well, you can think whatever you want. Maybe you're born to be an assistant coach. You're not born to be a head coach. Okay? Because, all that stuff, Oh, I just can't buy that. Harbaugh had to be in play. Well, you can buy whatever you want, Barney. You're wrong. You and everybody else that thought Harbaugh was in the mix is wrong. Harbaugh's not in the mix. Harbaugh would want total control. They're not going to do that. The guys that are in place are not going to do that. It's common sense. If Harbaugh was in the mix, all 3 guys would be looking for new jobs. Chris Greer, Marvin Allen, and Reggie McKenzie. Okay? He would be in. They all would be out. So, 1 minute you defend against discrimination and the next you justify it. Just because it happens all the time doesn't make it right for anyone. That justification why it happens, we let it. You let what, D-Mal? See, that's the problem with you, dude. You run your mouth and you don't know what the hell you're talking about, you fool. How are you going to stop it, D-Mal? Go ahead, explain, please. Please explain how are you going to stop it in the NFL? How are you going to stop the negativity, the racism, whatever it is, the hiring practices in the NFL? How are you going to stop it? Explain. How? They own the team. They make the decisions. You don't make the decisions. And the league is completely Teflon. They can beat women, they can kill people, they can discriminate, and the stadiums are packed, and you buy the NFL ticket and you buy the jerseys. Women had jerseys that said "Free Ray Rice." Even after watching him beat the crap out of his own fiancée, knock her out like a sack of potatoes and drag her out of an elevator and spit at her. And we had women wearing Save Ray Rice, Free Ray Rice, or whatever. So you tell me what you're going to do to change it. Because you're not. Now, if you want to live in fantasy, you can go ahead and you can run your mouth and say all kinds of things, but you know nothing. You just know how to run your mouth and say, oh, and we stand for it. No, you don't stand for it. You stand in line for it. Okay? You pay for every penny of it. You watch it on Monday night. You watch it on Thursday. You watch it on Sunday. You buy the jerseys, the hats, the shirts. None of you ever care about the discrimination. None of you ever care that they're constantly beating women. None of you. Nobody ever cares at the way football players have treated women throughout time. Not one woman walks away from the damn sport. So you guys can demow, and the rest of you that want to talk a lot of crap, okay? You're not changing anything. You know how you're going to change it? When those owners die and somebody that's minority ends up buying it. That's when it changes. The NBA is more accepting and more, what's it called? It reflects our society. The NFL does not reflect our society. I'm talking about the hierarchy. And that's the difference. In the NBA, you will see people of color, Asians, Hispanics. You will see women. You will see it all over the place in basketball. It's accepting. We can hear a woman talk about basketball and we're good. In the NFL, we still have this incredibly sexist approach. So D-Mao and any of you other guys out there, let's see, what is it? Number one, by not saying what you're going to do about it, it gives the impression or just no, D-Mao, don't run your mouth, bro. Don't do that. Give me the ideas. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Because you're the one that said, what was it again? Let's read it again. 1 minute you defend against discrimination, and the next you justify it. No, I didn't justify it. I exposed it, and I'm telling you it happens. And just because it happens all the time doesn't make it right for anyone. The justification is why it happens, and we let it. And what are you doing about it? What are you going to do about it, bro? We let it. We let it. What are you doing, man? How are you going to change it? You're watching, right? Because you want to talk football and you like football. So you let it. So no matter what they do, you watch. No matter what they do, you buy the shirts. No matter what they do, you buy the hats. So if a team was cheating, you're buying the hat. If they're beating women, you're buying a hat. If they're not hiring minorities, you're buying a hat. If they're sexually discriminating, you're buying a hat. If they're negative towards gays, you're still buying the hat. Whatever they do is Teflon, and no one does anything ever. So for me, by me telling you what really is going on, I'm not justifying it. I'm telling you. That's all. That's the reality that we live in. And we're not going to change it until the faces of the people that own the teams change. But if they keep handing it off to the same family members who are brought up the same way, then things aren't going to change. You know what I mean? I don't believe the Giants' hiring practice of Dable was necessarily racist, right? But on the flip side, I do have to say, when the hell have the Giants hired a black head coach? No, don't search your eyes, Sean. It's never happened. No, don't even try. Don't even think about it. No, no. A long time ago would be even they're even less. A long time ago. Okay, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago. No. They might contemplate it now, but they would never even contemplate it 20, 30, 50 years ago. So, your practices are wide open. Everybody sees it. The Dolphins have zero when it comes to that area. They are as diverse as it gets. So I give Stephen Ross all the credit in the world there. And that's his whole organization all throughout. It's incredibly diverse. All kinds of people are there. Faces and sexes and everything and nationalities and all that stuff. So but with the Giants, it's like, they had one general manager and he led them to a championship and then they fired him. So Mike Dizzle says, just want to congratulate you, Big O. I remember when you started out, we would have like 30 folks watching live, over 600 right now. Continue to grow. Thank you, my man. I appreciate it. We hit 1K yesterday. That was nice also throughout, man. It's been a real pleasure watching everything grow, and I can't thank all of you enough for supporting us the way you do every single day. AH360 says, can someone explain why owners will sign any race of player it takes to win games, or with coaches, winning takes a backseat to the racism? It's the way it's been forever, man. It's the way it's been forever. And until you change the faces of the owners, it's not going to change. It's just not going to change. Tough to see Flo on 50 shows when he hates media. Leon Fresco, thank you for the super chat. That you're so right. You're so right. Hunter Butler again on the super chat as always. Thank you, my man. He goes, I know who Flo wanted. Cash App me a million Bitcoin. That's right. Get me if I check that Cash App and it has a million Bitcoin, Cash Big O show, I will tell you who Flo wanted. I would have no choice. Okay. I would say, okay, yeah, all right. Here it is. Here's the scoopage on who it is. Let me check my Cash App. Let me check my Cash. No. I still have Aaron Rodgers Bitcoin in there. That's it. By the way, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. We get 100% of the donation there. We get 70 on YouTube because YouTube takes 30. You know what I mean? Don't they have enough? Anyway, Big O watching it from the UK. Love the show. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Raven. I appreciate you, my brother. Very kind of you, sir. The Greater Good says Flo has convinced himself he had the New York job until Belichick texts. Probably. Yeah.
He did, because he even said in the text, I feel good about it.
Yeah.
And then he realized, like, oh, wait a minute, who are you texting?
Yeah.
Which Brian were you supposed to be texting? And then it all went downhill from there.
God, Belichick's got to feel like crap, dude.
I'm looking at through the chats, and I see one, and just the image of it. Brian,
Yeah.
It's like Dan Marino in the office is shredding up papers. Like, you're seeing everybody running around the Dolphins organization right now, like, get rid of everything.
Erase hard drives. Get the IT guys in here.
I'm going to drive by Hard Rock Stadium. There's going to be hard drives getting thrown out the windows.
You see the fire at Hard Rock? That's everybody burning their hard drives. That's what's going on. Michael Cody says, love you, Big O and Sean, keeping me connected to the Fins here in Buffalo. Thank you, Michael. Hey, remember, we're going to be the 18th, I believe, right? It's the 18th. We'll be at 17th? No, it's the 18th. Slattery's. We'll be at Slattery's on the 18th in New York City, the Dolphin Bar on the 18th. It's a Friday night. Sean and I are going to be broadcasting from Sloman's, and we'll be out there Thursday and Friday broadcasting from the beautiful headquarters of Sloman's. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting all the people out there at Sloman's. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so we'll be rocking out there Thursday and Friday. Friday night, we're going to go into the city and go to Slattery's, the Miami Dolphin bar. So those of you that live in the New York area, if you can come on down, we'll be there at 8 o'clock at Slattery's. So we'll have some fun. We'll hang out with you guys. We'll obviously, we'll talk painfully about our Miami Dolphins and all the craziness that they're involved. But if you live or work in that area in New York City, we'll be there on the 18th this month. So ready to hang out with a lot of you out there in New York, man. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to hang out with you all out there at Slattery's in New York. Let's see. Can't believe that punk move by Shamar going to Texas A&M. I mean, he kind of had Texas A&M in his, sights from the get-go. Mario did a good job, dude. Listen. All right, Mario ended up with the 15th ranked recruiting class in the country. First ranked in the state. He just took over. So he's already number one in the state, man. What more do you want from the guy?
And he just signed a DC. I mean, he has no coordinators, no nothing.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's an ass kicker. He got 4 top 100 players. He got Travante Citizen, which, by the way, Travante Citizen, that's like a really cool name. The running back, 4-star guy. He got Moten from Cardinal Gibbons. I mean, this guy, you know what Mario Cristobal reminds me of right now? A young Jimmy Johnson. That's what he reminds me of right now. A guy that's coming in with a ton of fire, a ton of excitement and enthusiasm, and he wants to win badly. And this is Mario's town, bro. This is his school. You heard him say, I want people that want to be here and love the U like I do. And he's right about that you've got to get those kind of kids that believe in it and have that same kind of fire for the U that Michael Barrow had, that Patrick Crine had. You know what I'm saying? That Ken Dorsey has. All right? That Ray Lewis had. All of those kind of things. And you've got to find those kind of guys. Tyler Van Dyke is that kind of guy, playing with that moxie. Charleston Rambo played like that with that kind of moxie. So you got to be really excited about what's happening with the University of Miami. September 17th, I believe it is the date, against Texas A&M, can't get here fast enough, in my eyes. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be great to see where this team is at. And I know that they're going to be better coached week in and week out. I know we're not going to see the buffoonery that we were watching with Manny Diaz at times. And they were, undisciplined and just unprepared at times and flat. I don't believe we're going to see that with Mario. I think we're going to see a team that is jacked and ready to go. And he still has some space, which with the transfer portal, that's going to be a dangerous weapon now for the University of Miami. I think it'll become more of a positive than a negative, the transfer portal. The portal will be used in a better way of trying to get rid of the players that you don't need, and you'll end up having a line of players that do want to be here. And I think that's what's going to end up happening as you change the culture, as you start to win. You're going to have more players wanting to be a part of it. And listen, kids and parents are like bandwagon fans, right? You're going to watch the Panthers bandwagon get heavier over the next couple of months. And then next year, you're going to watch it go back to where it was in the mid-90s. And why? Because people will figure it out. Same thing here. Once he starts winning and going crazy, the bandwagon goes nuts. And the fans, all right, we were already on it already. But I'm talking about those kids that were thinking about going to other places and go, nah, I'm going to stay home. I'm going to go to the U, man. And parents that weren't looking at the U the same way will also change. all of those kind of things are going to turn on the University of Miami in a positive way, I believe, because of Mario Cristobal. I think Mario Cristobal's impact is going to be so enormous on and off the field. Now, I know he's got to get the results and all that stuff, and that's up to him, and he's never done that. You know what I mean? He got good results at Oregon, but he needs great results here, obviously, because that's what fans are looking for. But I'll tell you this, out of all the guys that they've hired, this is the one guy that I feel is probably the most complete. More than Al Golden and more than Randy Shannon, more than Larry Coker, certainly more than Manny Diaz. I think this is a guy you're getting, like I said, a young Jimmy Johnson. Okay? That's what I think you're getting in Mario Cristobal. I feel really good about what Mario's going to do here, man. You know, because I know he bleeds it. He wants to make sure that they succeed. Brooklyn Rob, thank you, sir. He says, Big O, real proud of you and Sean. Been here since the beginning and will always support you guys. Don't ever change no matter how big you get. Well, that's not us. Sean and I are the same dudes on the air, off the air. Nothing changes ever. You know, we're the same guys. This show is the exact same show when we started, you know, when it was me and Bill, you know, starting it. And obviously now with Sean, it's the same exact show. Nothing's going to change. Well, we do have more insiders now. That's actually changed. But outside of that, it's the same thing that I've always envisioned is trying to cover all of South Florida sports, not leave anybody out, not the Panthers, not Inter Miami, not the Marlins, not FIU, not FAU, and then cover any sporting event that we possibly can that affects our local market. And we're working on that. We're going to do that. So it's just little by little, we'll build it up. But thank you, Brooklyn Rob. I really appreciate it. All right, let's take a quick break. Let's get ready for hour number 2. Joe Shad, baby, will join us. We'll have a little fun with him in our AmericanDreamLending.com Miami Dolphins report.
When you're ready to purchase a new home loan or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. The Big O Radio Show is looking for an experienced salesperson in the radio or TV business. The candidate must have at least 5 years of sales experience in the broadcast business over the last 10 years. Please email your phone number and resume to BigORadioShow@yahoo.com. That's BigORadioShow@yahoo.com. Looking for an aggressive person who can help our platform expand into many avenues in our business. Reach out if you are the person that's able to make the difference. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Dolphins Dolphins fans, buckle up. It's time for the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins Report with Joe Shad. When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. Call them at 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Here's Joe Shad with today's edition of the American Dream Lending Report.
Mobile, Alabama, baby, and we're going to Joe Shad covering the Miami Dolphins on the road in our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report. How's Mobile, my man?
It's been good. I haven't had a chance to watch too much of the practices. There's been so much of a focus on the Dolphins coaching search, and now obviously this very important lawsuit filed by Brian Flores. So watching the offensive lineman, defensive lineman drills, not a priority. Although I guess I hear that the defensive linemen have gotten the better of the offensive linemen, which is not good if you're a Dolphins team hoping to find at least one offensive lineman here at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, yesterday was day one, right? If I'm correct.
Day two.
Day two. Yeah.
Yesterday was heavy rains. So there weren't a lot of people out there at all. They did not move it indoors. Both practices had heavy rains.
Were they at Lad Peebles or they're at South Alabama?
South Alabama, but they decided to keep it outside. Today they were expecting weather, even though it looks sunny out there now. And so they are not welcoming any of the media members to watch practice indoors. So anyone who wants to watch practice today will have to do that on television.
How's access been? Coaches and scouts.
It's not as good as it used to be. Yeah. They at practice they separated the media from the coaches, scouts, executives. So they have separate entrances. They're on one half of the stadium, you're on the other, so you can't engage with them at all. You're not allowed on the field. They only make like 4 players available after each practice on a podium. You can't even hear them. I mean, they're trying. There's obviously some COVID-related complications. But, you remember how we used to be able to hang out on the second floor?
I know.
They took that away. You're not allowed up there. So they have all these player-only areas. And so you just don't. And plus they have 900-plus people credentialed. And so, it's a lot harder to give people like one-on-ones when there's 900 people.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. But, wow, that's a shame, dude, because, I mean, I'm so used to having, like, all access pretty much to everything. So I don't know how I haven't gone the last 2 years. I went 3 years ago because it was right before the pandemic started. And so I was able to get it in. And then the pandemic started like a month later or whatever it was. But I haven't been able to go the last 2 years. And that's one of the reasons why I held off this year. Because I said, we can go. We're a little tight, but we could go. But if we're not going to get that access, and that's my problem there. If I'm not getting the access, that's a shame, man.
The Dolphins don't have a coach, right? And general manager Chris Greer isn't talking. So
I wonder why.
Yeah. I did try to approach general manager Chris Greer right after the lawsuit came out.
Did they tackle you?
No, I was just told
they tasered you. They didn't tackle and taser you or something.
I was told that the organization would have statements at some time.
Okay. All right. So just out of curiosity, where do you stand on this stuff? Like, the discrimination part is going to be, hard to prove for him. So that's something that, okay. But what about the bribery stuff about $100K per loss? I mean, that is one hell of an accusation. You better have some proof if you're going to make an accusation like that. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing for there to reportedly have been at least one witness. It'd be another thing if there were some paper receipts, emails, texts, voice messages, anything of that nature that would further corroborate that it wasn't just a flippant remark, a joke. I mean, it seems quite obvious to anyone that Ross will probably say, well, yeah, I mean, I was joking. I mean, everyone knew it was in the best interest of the franchise to have as high a draft pick as possible. So, yeah, I probably said something to Flo like, I'll give you $100,000 for each loss, but I obviously wasn't going to actually do that. It was a joke. So I would imagine that they would have to somehow prove that this was a real offer, not just some flippant remark. And then I saw Flo, and I hope Flo's lawsuit does facilitate some change, some needed change in the National Football League. There are a lot of problems, and it takes a lot of courage to put your name on this kind of lawsuit, especially when you're still a viable head coaching candidate. So I hope that some positive change does come from this. But as it relates specifically to the Ross allegation, yeah, I mean, that's going to be a tough one to prove. I saw Flo said that Ross also suggested that maybe he take a vacation. Well, that sort of sounds like a joke, right?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It sounds like a joke. I mean, clearly,
it's like a vacation in the middle of a season, dude. Come on.
I mean, clearly, if Ross said that, he clearly wasn't being serious. I mean, under what premise would Flores take a vacation? So we don't have all the details. We don't have all the information. That's what discovery is for. Let's let the details play out. I'm sure that if this is not settled, which you wouldn't think it would be, there was a defiant statement from Stephen Ross very late last night.
Yeah.
There will be some emails in the same way there was with the Bullygate, which I wasn't covering the team at that time. I thought I dodged a bullet there, not having to deal with that. But yeah, I mean, this is messy. It's just none of it is good. None of it is good from a Dolphins perspective. You're a Dolphins fan, and you're like, seriously, like, what is next? Like, why can't
Joe,
it just be normal?
And Joe, Spygate lasted a while. Bullygate lasted a while. This will dwarf both of those. This is going to last a long time. This isn't a cloud that's going to hang over the team for a month. There's a cloud that's going to last over the team maybe for a couple of years. This thing is going to be going back and forth. Now, follow me on this. If Flo doesn't necessarily have any hardcore evidence, like any kind of, tangible stuff, that's a paper, an email, a text, or something that can do it, and it's all he said, okay, then I think what the NFL is going to do is they're going to partner up with the Dolphins, and they're going to partner up if there's any truth with the Hugh Jackson was saying with the Browns and the Browns. Why? Because the last thing they want to do is expose these teams, because then that would expose the league. And the league is now tying itself to betting entities. So if anything, if there is no tangible evidence that Flo can put them in a corner that they can't get out of, I think they're going to fight this thing in a he said, she said. Everybody will keep their mouth shut, even if there's somebody that was, and you're going to be stuck with Stephen Ross, is what I tell the Miami Dolphin fan. So the Miami Dolphin fan that thinks this could end with Ross being forced out, actually, it may not, because the NFL may want to say, you know what? This doesn't benefit us to go after the Dolphins or the Browns, because that hurts our entire league. So maybe the Teflon League, maybe that's why they came out with that strong statement, because maybe that's a sign of things to come, that they're going to galvanize together, because it's more important to protect the shield than just the Dolphins or the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, these owners stick together. You saw it with Daniel Snyder, who's not a likable person at all and seems to be not a good guy. I mean,
dude,
they also all fear what could come out. And if Stephen Ross is forced to sell or highly pressured to sell, I mean, he's not going to be the owner for that many more years. At some point, he's going to turn it over to Bruce Beal.
Yeah.
I think it would be because of something that has not yet been reported, something that is discovered in an email and a text.
Right. Some tangible evidence.
And I'm sure that that's what Flores is focused on. One thing that clearly the NFL needs to do is, create a draft lottery system. You can't just have the worst team gets the first pick. Can't have it. And go into some sort of system, whether it's top 3, top 5, weighted, whatever system you want to come up with. Clearly, you can't have teams just planning to lose. Now,
I love that, by the way. I think that's a great idea on your part. I think they should do that, so that way it kind of takes that part out of it at least. Yeah, you're right.
And I think, it's just common sense. Now, football is different because, well, in basketball, one player can change a franchise, and
Yeah.
it's sort of similar to football in that one quarterback can change a franchise. So I would draw a parallel.
You're not going to
NBA.
win. You're not going to win it with one quarterback.
Yeah, but the tankers tank for the quarterback.
No,
It's
I
always
get
about
that.
the
I get that. But
quarterback.
you still need the team because we had the quarterback, and he put up a ton of points and yards and all that, and they won squat. So you still need a team. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to have the quarterback, but he could end up like Dan Marino and Steve Bartkowski and Archie Manning and Dan Fouts and a bunch of guys that put up a bunch of stats and yards and didn't end up winning anything, and they all had the talent to win it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'd like to see a change to that system. Obviously, far more important is the National Football League figuring out a way to get some more diversity. You've seen a couple of diverse general manager hires. It's kind of hard. It makes Flores' harsh lawsuit a little harder as it relates to the Dolphins, in that they are awarded for being the most diverse organization and giving all this money to diverse causes.
No, just you work with them, you know it. Any of us that know, you just walk and look at the faces in that building, it's diverse as hell. So, but I don't think the racism part is tied to the Dolphins. I think it's kind of the whole hiring process. And I got to tell you,
there was the phrase "angry black man" in the lawsuit. The implication that the Dolphins framed Flores as an angry black man to explain his departure, when Flores' belief is that he was on the outs once he refused to go along with the tank. There's so many layers to this. I mean, listen, Brian Flores knew the plan when he took the job. They laid it out for him.
Hey, dude, he worked for Belichick, who steals signs and films teams and messes up with radios. Please, the whole thing with Brian Flores now trying to act like he's holier than now, and I'm not doing this. You worked for Belichick, brother. Please.
The most explosive allegation.
That part is disgusting to me. Oh, I refuse to tank. No, but you'll cheat to win? Oh, okay. So you'll be part of cheating to win, but you won't be part of cheating to lose. Oh, okay. That's where the line in the sand is drawn for Flo. That's where I kind of call you a fraud.
There are other fair points that have been made, such as, well, okay, you were interested in Deshaun Watson. That didn't seem to be like a strong, ethical choice.
Right.
The most explosive allegation is obviously the $100,000, which is going to be very difficult to prove that Ross was serious about that. Very difficult.
Well, there has to be tangible evidence.
Yeah,
there has to be an email. It has to be a text.
What might be even more damning is if they can somehow find emails or texts that show that the that the Giants knew Dable was the choice when they were going to go through with their interview with Flores. Now, is that a violation of NFL rules? Is that a violation of laws? No, but it's kind of a bad look.
No, it's human nature. No, Joe, it's human nature, bro. I've been in the boss's role where I had to hire people, and I had several interviews set up, and I already knew who I was hiring. Because like the second interview I had, I loved the person. I said, okay, now I knew I had 3 more, and I had to go through it, okay? Because I did do that. And I went through the interviews, and, I left myself open, like, hey, maybe he surprises us. Like Mike Tomlin. Apparently that's the story in Pittsburgh, that Russ Grimm had the job, and they were going to hire Russ Grimm. And then all of a sudden, Mike Tomlin sat down and blew them away. And they're, okay, so they already had the idea of hiring Russ Grimm, but then they hired Mike Tomlin instead in Pittsburgh.
I agree with you that there are plausible explanations.
Yeah.
There usually are, but that doesn't mean that the system isn't broken.
Right. And the Giants have never had a black head coach.
Right. Flores' general claim that there's systemic racism in the NFL, and particularly in the NFL ownership group, obviously there's some validity to that.
Of course.
But it's really hard to, it's really hard. Obviously what Flores and his attorneys are hoping is that other coaches now feel empowered to come forward and join the suit and reveal the things they might have otherwise been afraid to reveal. This isn't about money. It isn't about one team or one owner or one coach. Flores really thinks that he can facilitate change. We'll see. I hope.
I doubt
Even
it.
Kenny Stills, who does not like Brian Flores, and a lot of players don't, came out and said, "Hey, I support Flo in his venture here."
Well, that's because Kenny's consistent. He's been fighting for that part of it, so he's not going to leave Flo off the boat and throw him overboard. He's going to say, no, dude, I'm fighting for black rights all the way through. So even this asshole, I got to fight for his rights. That's basically what Kenny Stills is saying. And as for angry, well, you were angry because Minka, you know what I mean? You're angry because your coaches, you're constantly changing. So whatever label you want. Flo kind of earned that label at times too. You know what
There
I'm saying?
will be some things that come out about Flo that
Yeah,
are
dude.
unflattering.
I
More
know.
things now. More things.
Right.
And
right.
that's the risk of the divorce lawsuit.
Yes.
Even celebrities, the most famous, powerful people in the world, stuff ends up being in the lawsuits that they would never want out there. And it's, they take forever. They cost a lot of money. You never know who to trust, who to believe, what's real, what's not, so it's, I just, I hope, listen, John Gruden is out, right? And John Gruden said some really heinous things that never would have been exposed if not for,
But
some,
you
investigation.
just brought up an exceptional point. Even for a scum like the guy that owns the Washington Redskins, they galvanized. They're going to galvanize for this too. It's twisted, bro. It's twisted. All right, before I let you go, Mike McDaniel set to interview finally tomorrow now. We now find out that Kyle Shanahan also sucks at reporting because he said it was today. I'm joking, Kyle. Relax.
Things change.
I know. I'm just having fun.
Things change. Lawsuits are filed.
All I do is bust balls here and have fun. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so does this change anything? Because I've thought from the get-go, Dable 1, McDaniel 2. Does it look like it's going to be the guy here? What do you think?
I mean, most of the people that I've spoken to here in Mobile believe that McDaniel has an edge going into this final round. But that doesn't mean that Kellen Moore can't somehow end up being offered the job. I'll stick with my reporting that I think McDaniel, is the leading candidate at this time. I told you that I didn't think Jim Harbaugh was going to happen. I was right. I told you that McDaniel's second interview hadn't happened. I was right. So there's a lot of people, Big O, that are noticing how often some folks like me are right on the Big O show.
Yes. And by the way,
on the internet and the social media.
And by the way, to defend Schultz, because we had him on yesterday, he never said that was a second interview. Nowhere did he ever say. Everybody else ran with it because it was done a couple days after the first interview that he got those nuggets, and then he shared them, and then everybody ran with it. He never said it, and we ran with it. So we kind of buried him.
I try not to
unfairly. So
well, I'm glad that you were able to get him as a guest.
Yeah. Well, I've known him for years. What's it called? The Dolphin Nation was burying him when he never really reported that. So it was like we were blaming the dude for something he didn't report. And that's a little unfair.
At worst, it was unclear.
Yes, and he apologized for that.
I'm sorry. At best, it was unclear.
He apologized for that. Jordan apologized for it. He says, I should have mentioned that it was the first interview. Is what I should have done. And he's right. He should have done it. But, I've known Jordan for years. Dude, he's a stand-up as they get, bro. So he's a good dude. He works hard at this craft. All right, so McDaniel, so you don't think any of this mess will hurt the McDaniel thing? Because at least I'm holding out some hope, Joe, that this guy can fix the whole offensive side. And if they keep the defensive staff, maybe this whole human Jenga thing might end up working.
I mean, I can't imagine that Mike McDaniel or Kellen Moore would turn down a chance to be the head coach of one of the 32 NFL teams.
No,
Can't imagine.
don't Kellen Moore me, bro. Why do you do that? Why you Kellen Moore me? I'm trying to feel good about this now. You
Mike
Kellen
McDaniel
Moore?
will bring some positive energy, some juice.
There we go.
And it should be noted
There we go.
that he is a diverse candidate. McDaniel's
That's
father
right.
is black, his mother is white. So
That's right.
Deadspin screwed that up.
I had somebody told me that yesterday, and I went. You did, right? I had no idea. I went to look it up, and I was like, wow, I had no idea that he's from a mixed family. That is very cool.
We should
I had no
never
idea.
assume that we know someone's race or background. Never assume.
I will say this. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for Cameron. I'm happy for Omar. I'm happy for Alan. I'm happy for everybody on the beat, Marcel, because if you do get Mike, dude, at least you get a guy with a freaking personality, man. So
Yeah, you never
God
know.
bless you, bro.
You never
Good for
know,
you.
but I would take my chances with Mike McDaniel.
Yes. Good for you, bro. Good for you. You're gonna get a guy that actually will talk and have some fun. I think he's.
By the way, I followed up and I was told that basically Flo doesn't think anything he did with the media was wrong. That he thinks that I was hoping that, like, if he were to become a head coach again,
he was
that
going
he would
to
try a different approach. I now believe that he wouldn't.
It's Adam Gase all over again. You justify his behavior. Dude, it's your kid grows up and he or she's a brat and acting like a brat, and then you don't take the phone away and you don't take the computer and you don't do anything. What's the brat going to do? Continue to act like a brat. So if you don't take the team away from them and you give them another team, they're going to go, well, everything I did was right. And that's what happened with Adam Gase. And he acted like the same brat he was here, over there. And that's the same thing.
I mean, I was disappointed. I was disappointed to hear that. So
he needs to be humbled, actually, is what he needs. You know, to me, this lawsuit has no basis on the racist part, even though I know the racism is all over the NFL. But in his case, he's going to lose that part of it. It's the 100K. That's the one I'm interested in. That's the one I want to see proof. The other one, I think it's impossible to prove.
I mean, how does the 100K tie into race, though? Is the suggestion that
no, it's two different stories.
No, but I'm saying, like, how do you even tie it together? Is the suggestion that a white coach would not have been put in that position? I mean, that's what Hugh Jackson seemed to be implying, that he was set up. You know.
I don't know. Yeah, but you know what? I hate to be like this, Joe, but I believe Flo more than I believe Hugh Jackson. I'm sorry. It's just I don't know what it is about Hugh. You know what I mean? I know Flo's angry and frustrated, but I got to figure he's telling the truth about the 100K, as crazy as it sounds. But
there's no way he made that up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
In my, you know.
I think Flo is such a straight arrow guy that he's, you know, that sounds like him, man. So, but Hugh Jackson's another guy. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I saw your coaching, and I think some of your 1-31 was you, dude. I watched some of that stuff, and no.
All right, I'm traveling today, but check out the Palm Beach Post online. We'll have continued stories about Mike McDaniel and about the Brian Flores lawsuit.
And subscribe, please. All right, support Joe.
Thanks,
all right, my brother. Enjoy Mobile. Much love. You got it. Joe Shad, baby, and our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins reports.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com.
Friday. Appreciate all of you out there. You got something there for me?
I do. Apparently, there's ongoing testimony on Capitol Hill about the Washington football team.
Yes.
Some of their former employees are testifying. Brad Baker is one of them. He said we were told never to make eye contact with Dan Snyder.
That's Saban.
But that's not even the serious allegation. At Dan Snyder, he says, the reporter's reporting that the testimony on Capitol Hill is revealing very serious allegations at Dan Snyder that could fall into the criminal realm if true and proven. Brad Baker says he was told to make nude videos of cheerleaders at Snyder's direction, which is an explosive direct allegation. And then Baker went on to say, turns out the NFL does not care. The employees are asking Congress to compel the NFL to release the full report of what went on with the Washington football team, which goes back to the correlation of what you were saying earlier with the NFL and the Teflon.
They will work together to protect the shield more than, and they'll protect the shield even to that point, man. That's, they'll protect the shield like you should protect your shield with a little Nature B and those 2 golden capsules. They've got 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 minerals, powerful antioxidants. That's why I've been taking it for 20 years, folks. That's why you see I rarely ever have a cold. I'm not saying you're never going to get a cold. Once in a blue moon, you're going to get a cold. But with Nature B, man, and in today's virus-filled world, okay, maybe you're not vaxxed. Maybe you're not boosted. Maybe your immune system's a little compromised. Boost it up with Nature B, sustained energy all day long. All right, that's why I need my Nature B, man, because I am constantly working. I need my Nature B, those 2 golden capsules in the afternoons, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. Some of you're running out of gas. I am powering through. I've been doing it for over 20 years, boosting my immune system. So many other benefits. I've been telling you about it. For you ladies out there, your hair is going to grow longer and stronger. Your nails will grow faster. NatureB.com is the website. You want free shipping. BIGO, big O. Use small letters for the I and the G, by the way. All right, capital letters on the B and the O. I think that's how it works better. Get the power of pollen, by the way, from Nature B, and that is for me, baby. I've been taking it for over 20 years from Clean Green, New Zealand, okay? All natural, not made in some lab or anything. It's great for kids. It's great for everybody. It is 100% natural. My daughter takes it. My wife takes it. I take it. And my wife needs it. She works with 200 kids every stinking day, dude. You got to boost your immune system with that. NatureB.com, free shipping. BIGO, big O. All right, let's do it. Alan Poupart and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report is next.
Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart. With locations throughout South Florida, Sports Grill is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alan Poupart.
That is Alan Poupart. Mr. Poupart, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. I gotta get you some better lighting than that. Find a better
Yeah, what the hell is that, bro?
Oh, come on now.
Are you in
my art director's on vacation? So
okay, are you home or okay? No, you are.
I'm at home. I'm not in Mobile.
Okay, so you're in a different room today. You're giving us
a different room. Yes.
Okay, you're giving us a different look today. Okay,
yes.
All right. So
okay, how's this?
Much better lighting. See, look at that. You know, he's got a future in lighting. What the hell's he doing writing? He should be in lighting, not writing. I mean, look at that. PLG, Channel 10, Fox, Warner Brothers. You have a director right there, man. Look at that. Look at that, man. That is strong on your part.
I will entertain any and all offers.
You're shedding light like Flo is on the NFL.
Yeah, there you go. Nice metaphor.
All right, so we have now seen the crazy developments here. Hugh Jackson has chimed in. This is going to last forever, right? This is one of these things that's going to drag on and going to be a cloud over this team for a long, long time to come.
More than likely, but I mean, it's not like this team's not used to having clouds hanging over, is it?
No.
Yeah, but no, that kind of lawsuit with all that's in there, yeah, it's not going to be resolved tomorrow or next week. That's for sure.
And I think I mean, if Flo is, if he's committed to this, there's no way he's settling, right? I mean, this is I heard his lawyer say, well, this is going to be more than just about a check, but he still included the word check in there. So there's going to be a check involved, but if he's really serious about this, it has to be about some type of change that he's going to try to force, correct?
Correct. And then he said that, in fact, the lawyers also have said, they're not settling. And they've also said that even if he does land one of the 4 remaining jobs that are open, well, I guess 3, because I'm guessing the Dolphins are not rehiring him. So if he does land one of those 3 remaining jobs, the lawsuit is still on the books. And dude, the guy's not wrong in terms of what the problem is and what he's looking to change, but I'm not exactly sure what this. It's a very obvious problem without a clear solution, because ultimately, can you really tell an owner you've got to hire this particular person?
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Thank you for at least having that common sense, because some people don't get that. It's like some guy was like, "Oh, we stand for it." And I'm like, "Stand for it, dude. You stand in line for it. You pay tickets, you pay hats and jerseys. You don't change." Ray Lucas, Ray Rice can beat a woman, and there are women outside with free Ray Rice jerseys and signs. They're Teflon, and they know they're Teflon, and they can get away with this kind of stuff. So how do you force these owners unless we see what's happened in basketball, correct? Where the faces of the owners are changing, and that they all don't look the same color, and they all don't have the same sex, and you know what I'm saying? And there's been diversity in that league. This is the league that has had no diversity at the top. That's the problem.
And you completely nailed it right there. It's like every single solitary owner is, there's not one black owner. So
there's no Latin owner. There's no, and there's no Asian. Although Shad Khan,
correct,
right?
The only one.
The only one.
Mm-hmm.
Only one. And he's got Jacksonville.
Right.
He doesn't have New York, LA, or Chicago.
But they look like they were on the verge of hiring. Supposedly they were on the verge of hiring Byron Leftwich, and all of a sudden it's fallen by the wayside from all reports, because he wants to hang on to Trent Baalke as his GM, when everybody in Jacksonville is saying that's a complete abomination to keep that guy around.
Everybody in the NFL knows Trent Baalke, bro. Why would you, after everything that happened in San Francisco, why would you want to hire Trent Baalke? How does that guy still get jobs? That's the amazing part to me about Trent Baalke.
Forget hiring him. You're basically hanging on to him at the cost of a potential head coach you want. I mean, that's weird.
It's the weirdest thing, dude. I give him credit, bro, because somehow or another he stays employed and is stealing money and doing a great job at it, bro. I got to give him credit. Now, my gut tells me that Flo is not lying about the 100K, but brother, he's got to have the proof, right? I mean, this has got to be, if it's a he said thing, he's done, because although, I mean, are the people that were there in that circle, whoever it was, are they going to be willing to perjure themselves? How far is this thing going to go? But I got to think that if he said this, it's not like he was just throwing stuff out there. There's got to be some truth to this.
No, and if having been around Flores for 3 years, I'd be tempted to think, and it's not the kind of accusation.
I know where you're going.
Yeah, kind of not the kind of accusation you make. Specifically, if he was going to make it up, why did he throw out $100,000, and why not a different figure amount? Now we have the Cameron Wolf report as well, saying that he's spoken to somebody, to a witness who heard Ross make the offer. Obviously, it's more powerful if you have some kind of a text or an email or something. Although, I mean, no offense to anybody out there, but you have to be some kind of dumb to make an offer like that in writing.
Yes, you would have to be. See, the problem we have here is with Ross going to try to lure Harbaugh when he had Sperano. That's what opens the door to make it believable for Ross. like, okay, well, dude, he did go to Harbaugh when he had Sperano in place, so he would do shady stuff like this, and that's kind of the whole thing. That it's almost a guilty by association type of thing that falls with Ross. Now, I've said this, Alan. I think the NFL is going to galvanize itself with the Dolphins, and if there's any truth with Cleveland, because instead of going after these teams, I think it's more important for them to protect them like they did Washington, because, and, Snyder. So I almost feel like the Dolphin fan that thinks this might lead to freeing yourself of Ross, I think actually it might end up being the opposite. The NFL may not want to know the truth because it's more important to protect the shield than to protect the Dolphins or Washington logos.
Protect the shield. Unless, and let me throw something out there, and this is just, again, throwing an idea out there. Unless NFL owners decide they'd rather throw Stephen Ross under the bus to keep focus away from anybody else, from any other.
But they save Snyder. Ross is
maybe but here's the thing, though. Ask yourself, among NFL owners, do you think they would be more troubled by what Stephen Ross is accused of, or by Daniel Snyder and the vile emails and the...
Yeah. Snyder doesn't affect them. Ross affects everyone.
Correct.
No, you're right, dude. Yeah. No. Yeah. You're wrong about Alex Smith playing better in Kansas City than San Francisco, but that you are completely right.
Surprised it took you long. And I never said he played better. I said he played. And I don't even want to revisit that, but I'm surprised it took you that long to bring it up.
Well, I had to bring it up because you were right about this. So, I gotta give you love when you're right. And then, obviously we gotta correct you when you're wrong.
Keep me humble. There you go.
That's right. That's what we got to do. That's what I think is happening with Flo. He's going to get mighty humbled in all of this. Do you the people that may join the lawsuit are just coaches that are completely out of it, right? That's the thing. They're not going to get anybody really that's active or has a future or anything like that in the NFL. I just don't see those kinds of coaches standing next to Flo in this case, correct?
Agree, unless maybe it's somebody toward the end of his career who would be like, you know what, if that means the end for me, this is bigger than that. That type of coach, I'm struggling to.
Caldwell.
Very good. Very good.
67. The health thing looks like the age and the health thing. I think you're the one that brought it up last week that the Carrolls and the Belichicks were hired younger. They got older as they were already. Yeah. Was that you that said that last week?
Yes.
And so, which is a great point. Again, you were right. And you're still wrong about Alex Smith. Okay. But in this case, you're right, because maybe that's the whole Caldwell thing. It's the age. And, if we hired you at 57 and you were here 10 years with us and now you have a little bit of health issues, hey, we'll hang on to you and all of that. But in this case, yeah, maybe a guy like that could join it if he felt that he was treated in that sense.
Let's just say the margin for error to land a head coaching job is a lot bigger, if you have the right pigmentation.
Oh, yeah. Please. Of course. It took Tony Dungy forever. Marvin Lewis, it took him forever to get the head coaching job that he got in Cincinnati. We were talking about Marvin Lewis for years, dude, before he got the job. So, yeah, no, I can't disagree with that. That's 100% accurate on that.
And he's another one. I'm sorry, Big O. And he's another one. Why hasn't he gotten a second shot? I understand he reached a plateau in Cincinnati after making the playoffs for several years. And
Does
I would
Zach
tell
Taylor
you,
make him look bad? Because he never won a playoff game, and here's Zach Taylor in the Super Bowl.
Well, Andy Dalton, Joe Burrow. That's my answer to that.
Because he had Carson Palmer, dude. Didn't he? Didn't he have Carson Palmer?
No, you're right. Didn't he have
Carson Palmer? Yeah, Carson Palmer. Yeah, he had some pretty good teams with Corey Dillon and no, not Corey Dillon. What's it called? Chad Johnson and TJ Houshmandzadeh, and they had some. I mean, they had some guys that were shady, but they actually could play ball. I mean, see, the thing is, Sam Weish made the Super Bowl, And now Zach Taylor makes the Super Bowl, and both in Cincinnati with the same clown owner, and yet the guy in the middle, Marvin Lewis, made the playoffs several times, but never even won a game. It's got to be an indictment on him, dude. It has to.
No, it is. But again, unless I'm going crazy or senile or a combination of both, which is entirely possible, I could have sworn it was Andy Dalton who was his quarterback. Because I always
yes. But yeah, I think he had the back end of.
He may have had Palmer for a little bit, but because I always looked at Cincinnati every year, and I'm like, man, that team is stacked. If they had a quarterback, they'd win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
but they didn't. So, but again, though, can we not argue that there have been white coaches who have had not nearly as much success?
Yeah, no. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying it just kind of falls on him that he didn't win a playoff game. You got to, if you go to the playoffs a few times, you got to win one of them at least. You know what I'm saying?
Marty Schottenheimer. Yeah.
Damn, dude, they fired Marty Schottenheimer 1 year after he won 13 games.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, young people may not remember that because they weren't around, but for those of you, go look at it. Marty Schottenheimer got fired 1 year after 13 games, and everybody's looking around going, huh? Like, Marty Schottenheimer was a damn good coach.
He never great regular season coach.
Yeah, he never got teams over the top. That was his problem. Mm-hmm. Yep. It was like, yeah, Marty Schottenheimer is a great coach until you get to the playoffs. It was one of those. It was one of those deals. All right, the Mike McDaniel thing.
Yep.
Have you heard anything? Is it going to hurt anything? Because tomorrow is his second interview. From everything I hear, that's the guy. If they didn't get Dable, Mike McDaniel was the guy. So does it still look like that's the target for you? What do you hear?
Oh, no, it's still the target. And from what I hear, yes, he's still on board. He may ask pointed questions during the interview and not like the answers and then decide, you know what? Because it's not like he has a bad gig with the 49ers. No, I'm serious. And that's the same.
I know you're right. And he'll get another great offer
correct
next year. And he'll stay with that team, and it'll have another great year next year. I get what you're saying.
And it's the same with Kellen Moore. This is not the last time that Kellen Moore has a shot. So he may interview again. I have not heard of him having an interview scheduled, though the reports were that he was supposed to talk to the Dolphins this week. Again, if I'm Kellen Moore and his agent, damn straight they're going to ask about this lawsuit and everything that's involved with that.
In other words, he can do a Josh McDaniel to Cleveland. That when Cleveland was interested, McDaniel said, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I'm staying here for now. And because he had it good in New England, he's like, no, I'll wait for another opportunity. And now he got his opportunity.
Correct. We're not looking at two guys who are not going to have other coaching opportunities if it's not this year. So, and again, if Kellen Moore decides to go back to Dallas, are we really expecting that offense to flop next season? I don't think so. No. Same with San Francisco. And here's one thing about Mike McDaniel. I don't want to say that concerns me because everything and everybody.
Young coach. It should everything about a young coach.
Well, no, but here's the thing is because his area of expertise is the run game. Okay. And everybody talks about what a genius is, smartest guy in the room and all that. But you look at the stats, and if this guy is supposedly a genius in the area of the running game, why is it that San Francisco's ranking in the NFL in yards per carry average during McDaniel's 5 years there has been in the top 10 once, and it was 9th. And if you do the composite, the average ranking is 14th in the NFL. So that kind of, I don't know, concerns me a little bit, because if he's supposed to be like a genius expert at his field, you would expect, I mean, if he was like in the top 5 every year,
right,
I would certainly give me a lot more confidence. Now, having said that,
the only thing I will say is they don't really have a stud back, right? It's always a
committee.
Yeah, it's always a committee. It's always guys that are solid, but not real stars. And so I wonder, maybe do they have kind of also a half-ass approach to the running game, that they don't really commit to getting a stud there. They just get serviceable guys, and they feel that their blocking scheme will make it good enough so they can play off of that with the pass game. I don't know.
Do we know another team like that?
I know where you're going. That's somebody was trying to do that here.
No, yeah. and no, you make a valid point, because if you look back at their drafts recently, I don't believe they spent a high pick on a running back.
No, they don't.
The Dolphins, because we know that. I'm talking about the 49ers.
No, I know.
What they've done is they've built up like like a bitch of a front seven on defense, and their offensive line is pretty solid, and they lucked out in being able to make the trade for Trent Williams. But again, having said that, because you make the point that he didn't work with great running backs.
Mostert and those kind of guys they're all right, but they're not.
But unless the Dolphins may have a change of philosophy, that's what he's going to be working with in Miami.
Oh no, that'll change now. I can tell you that. Oh, you'll see a back in the top 3 rounds this year. Watch.
Okay.
Watch. Okay. They'll have an extra pick. Remember, X will get traded, so they will have extra picks in the top 3 rounds.
And then it
won't be just the ones they have now. They will have an extra pick this year and probably next year, thanks to the X trade in the offseason. You will see a running back, I believe, on this team in this draft. I believe that. That will be my.
Given my experience with the Dolphins, I'll believe it when I see it. I think the last one, Kenyon Drake, was a 3rd-round pick. Before that,
wasn't he 4th? Oh, he was a 3rd?
He was a 3rd-round pick.
Okay, I thought he was
2016. That was the year X was a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Can't even remember. For some reason, I failed to remember the last time they picked a running back in one of the first 2 rounds.
And Kenyon Drake was a solid pick, man.
Yep.
It ends up being a solid pick. I mean, they didn't end up using him the way they should, but I mean, he's always proven to be a good player. So he helps out wherever he goes, Arizona, Raiders, and Miami, whenever he got opportunities. It's just, that's the weirdest thing, dude. That kid's never, wherever he goes, they never say, all right, you're the guy. You're going to get more carries than everybody else. It never happens. It's like there's few moments where he'll get a lot of carries in a game, and then he'll have a great game, and you're like, well, why isn't this happening more often? It's weird.
Yeah, I kind of always looked at him as an absolutely great number 2 back. I don't know if I ever saw like feature back, but as a number 2 back, I mean, damn.
I just would like to see if he can be a 1. But you're right. He's a great number 2 back. That's what he's proven in this league. He's an awesome number 2 back. But I would love to see him just get that 1 opportunity there, man. All right.
Not happening in Oakland with Josh Jacobs around.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So
sorry, did I say Oakland? Vegas. Sorry.
Vegas.
Wow.
So you expect the McDaniel announcement by Sunday before Super Bowl week starts? Because I don't think they want to wait till next Monday or the week of making it. It's Friday and then announce it within the next day or 2, right?
Correct. Well, I mean, that's what logic says. But again, logic and this situation doesn't really necessarily go hand in hand. So.
All right, follow him on Twitter at Poopart NFL and catch his work there at Sports Illustrated. Lock it down, bookmark it. You will love it. Always great reading. He's producing about 46 articles a day, so you probably won't be able to read everything he writes. Alan, thank you, my brother. We'll catch you next week.
Have a great weekend.
You too, baby. There you go. Alan Poupart and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alan Poupart, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza.
Thank you. We thank Alan Poupart for joining us here on the program. I wonder how's the market doing? Are we standing kind of still here? This is I think this is continuing. We're continuing to kind of trade sideways. Yep. Bitcoin's stuck right at 37,000, which again, this is telling you this is a good opportunity, folks. Make sure you take advantage of it. In a couple months, you'll start to regret it. 2 years from now, you're going to go, oh, my God. Barney says, I'm freaking out, man. Big old David Culley should join the lawsuit. Well, maybe. But if David Culley wants to keep working in the NFL, then he can't join the lawsuit. Once you join that lawsuit, you're done. You'll never work again in the NFL. Just tuning in, McDaniel hired yet? Newfoundland. They haven't even interviewed him yet for the second time. That'll be tomorrow, my brother. So wait for that announcement this weekend. So Monday, we should be talking about the new Dolphins coach here on the program, which is good. 305 in the 305 says, good afternoon, Big O. If Flo was a smart man, which in my opinion he is not, he would have taken that 100K as proof, then come out with the first payment instead of waiting 3 years. Good work, brother. That, or you can expose him right there and then when they made the offer, because then it becomes truth. You don't even need the 100K. You don't even need to commit the crime, because if you go and lose the game, then accept the money, you've committed the crime and accepted the money. So you're kind of part of the sham. But as I said yesterday, if the 3 years ago, the second, if it's true, obviously, okay, if it's true that Stephen Ross made that offer at that moment, that's when you say to him, Mr. Ross, I'm sorry, sir, but our relationship has just ended. I am now going to quit the team, and I am now going to go public with the offer that you just made me right this second. And then if you quit a job you never started, and you tell people, I quit because the owner wanted me to lose 100K. I'm a minority that just got my first opportunity at a head coaching job, and I have to now lose because the owner wants me to lose. You know how believable that would have been? Incredibly believable. Now you have to fight through sour grapes. Now you have to fight through, dude, you were fighting with Minka. You were embarrassing Kenny Stills in front of people. You couldn't keep a coaching staff together. You couldn't get along with people. So now you have to fight the stigma of you not having people skills, and they're going to use the angry man at you because you were kind of angry at times. So now it looks more sour grape-ish than anything else. So now you've got to overcome that. If he would have done it 3 years ago, right when it happened, it would have been incredibly believable. People would have stood behind him right away. Like, wow, this guy quit a job that he hadn't even started yet because they challenged his character right away. And he said, I would have none of that. But then also, you can't say 3 years later that, oh, they offered me the money and I wouldn't take it, and that's why this and that. And then, dude, you worked for Belichick for 15 years. You're filming teams. You're stealing signals from the press box. You've got equipment guys standing hidden somewhere in a stadium filming, what was it, the Rams, right, that year or whatever? I forgot what was in the Super Bowl that week. You're notorious that your head coach and that team mess with radios for the opponents. Peyton Manning will tell you stories that he's convinced, and many others, about the crap that would go on under the Patriots. So that's the problem with Flores here. You were tied to so much dirty in New England that now you're going to tell me, oh my God, 3 years ago, I would not tank. Well, no, dude, if you really were high and mighty, okay, you would have done it right there and then. And then it would have been incredibly believable because the 3 years would not have happened. No Kenny Stills, no Minka Fitzpatrick, no firing of 7 different coaches on the O-line and offensive coordinators, scaring away Chan Gailey, all of these things that happened while he was here. None of that would have happened. It wouldn't have been in our memory banks. All we would have said is, wow, this is amazing. This guy just got the job and just quit because they offered him to lose games on purpose. That's how it would have carried a lot of weight. In fact, that may not bury him as a football coach. He may end up getting a job after that. But in this way, it's going to be he's done. He's got no shot. That's why it'll be about a check. They'll try to make a change, but when they realize they can't make a change, we'll take a check. That's what's going to happen. You're not going to tell 32 old white dudes who to hire. They're going to be stuck in their, some of them, racist ways. Because obviously all of them don't have it, but some of them do. We see it. It's obvious. So, Andy Rio says, Native American, Asian, Hispanic, and Anglo should all demand diversity in woke programming and advertisement. Yep, but when it comes to the NFL, nobody ever requires anything, and they're able to survive it all. Those are the facts. All right, let's take a quick break. Let's get ready for hour number 3 live from Hialeah Park right here on the Big O Radio Show.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed. No. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Ooh, mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Flores, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloman Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by EJDConstruction.com, where you can trust their team of construction experts. American Dream Lending. Go to adreamlending.com. Stop dreaming and start living your best life. Perdermo Cigars. Experience a Perdermo way. Go to perdermocigars.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, 0 transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Friday, hour number 3 of the program. We are ready to rock. I appreciate all of you out there. Dougie Fresh, GM Hindsight. I'm going to get to your super chats in just 1 second here. Let me go to the Superman of mortgages right now. Eve Sham, baby, there you go. American Dream Lending. Go to the website, adreamlending.com. And folks, take advantage right now because the Fed's already said they're going to raise the rates next month. And you know they're going to do it because it's going to happen. They got it. They've given out way too much money. So American Dream Lending is here to save you a lot of money. And that's what I like, Eves. You've told me over the last couple of weeks, some of our listeners called you, and now they're saving money because they consolidated and they lowered their interest payment every month and all that stuff. So you're doing some good things out there.
Yeah, getting rid of that high interest debt will definitely save you some money on a monthly basis. It's a lot of people recruit a lot of debt over the past 2 years through the pandemic. And paying too much on a monthly basis, 15, 19, 29% interest rates on credit cards. And that's got to go. You could lock that in long term, still in the 3% range without a problem, which is, cutting that interest rate obviously down to minuscule of a percentage of what they're paying on their credit card right now.
Yep. No, I'm with you. And that's why those of you out there, different reasons, if you're buying a home, some of you are actually moving to South Florida, so you've called Eves. And if you are moving to South Florida, Eves can help you out, obviously. And what I love about it is you got the cell number right there, always ready to go, 305-992-5218. So you can call Eves anytime. And remember, he is licensed in 47 states here. So you don't have to be in Florida. Eves, you've got listeners calling you from outside the state too.
Oh, yeah. We have loan officers licensed across the country to help anybody out, no matter where you're at, to make sure you get the house that you're looking to buy, that second vacation home, that investment property. You're looking to finance an Airbnb or VRBO, short-term rental, we can help you out with that as well. But what's going on in the football world here?
Oh, dude, bro. It's
change the subject real quick.
I know. Let's talk about something that is crazy. This you're dealing with the sanity. Let's talk about the craziness. I listen. I think that they'll interview Mike McDaniel tomorrow. So hopefully they'll have a coach by the weekend here, and by next week we'll have a new coach. But this whole, whatever pay gate or whatever it is, or what is it, loser gate, whatever you want to call it, it's going to take a while. This thing's going to drag on. Eves is going to be in courts for years to come, dude.
Well, what's gonna happen if they do find out that Ross did this?
They'll force him to get out and get rid of the team.
That's what
yeah. I think Flo's telling the truth about that. Now he's got to prove it. That's the question. Does Flo have proof that Ross offered the $100K for the losses? The racism part, bro, we know that's been existing in football forever.
That's existed forever, and hats off to Flores for risking his career and stepping up, standing out, and saying something about it.
Oh, no, ending his career. There's no risk here.
Yeah, ending his career. Yeah, unfortunately.
Ending his career. Now, the problem with that
hopefully it doesn't end his career.
It ended his career, bro. The 32 white guys aren't going to hire him. That's just those are the facts, bro. It's just not going to happen. But I think it's going to be really hard for him to prove the whole racism part. That's the problem on that one. The $100K, if he has hardcore proof, that will rock the NFL. Okay, that may help him make the changes he wants on the other side, because there might be negotiations behind the scenes and we never find out. And then there's, confidentiality agreements and all that stuff. But he then ends up getting the change on one end by using the leverage of the 100K, because the NFL is not going to want to expose that. They don't
No,
want to go after Stephen Ross for cheating on purpose, because
definitely not.
that'll be a stain on the league
They
overall.
want this to go away as soon as possible. And I think the league and I think Ross and everybody is going to pony up some big bucks to quiet this thing down and make it go away.
Well, the question is he going to take a check, or is he really out for change? Okay, because Kaepernick ended up settling for the check and really did not, kind of take that step forward. And he was more of a face for the movement, not really part of the action itself. And so that's the question. Will you be part of the change, or are you going to end up taking the check? And remember, he's never going to work again. So the next time he works, it'll be at a high school is probably where he'll work, or some small college.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be an easy obstacle to overcome for him to get back in the NFL where they're at right now.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I think this might end up saving Ross if the NFL ends up backing him up instead, because they don't want to expose all of this. Kind of like what happened in Washington. That Daniel Snyder probably did some dirty stuff, but because it'll expose everybody else, they're protecting Snyder, and
Of course.
it's kind of that stuff. Eve, so if there are folks out there, man, right now that they're a little frustrated with their situation, maybe they're looking to move, maybe they're looking to sell, maybe they want to refinance, maybe they want to, incorporate their bills now because they've gained a lot of equity. What do they got to do to get in contact with American Dream Lending?
Just give us a call. Give me a call directly, 305-992-5218, or go on the website, dreamlending.com. Reach out to us. We want to help you. We want to at least, send you along your way and let you know, hey, you're in a great financial position for what your goals are and what you're looking to accomplish in the near future and in the long run. And what you're doing right now is perfect. You don't need to change anything.
Right.
I love telling people that. I mean, we don't do a loan for them, but that's fine. That means that these folks are moving in a positive direction and they don't need any help, which is great.
Yeah. So if you just have questions, you want a little guidance,
give us a
want to know if you need to do something or not, if there's a better option or not, Ease will tell you exactly, bro. So
no
that
question is a dumb question, and never think that you're wasting my time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I've gotten that before too. Hey, can I just call him to ask him this? Ask him, man. You got to get educated so you know exactly what direction you need to go in. So call him 305-992-5218. That's 305-992-5218. Eves will be there for you. He'll eliminate the V and make it a yes for you. Go to the website, adreamlending.com. Eves, you're the best, my brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Big O. One more question, Big O.
Yes.
Who do you got for the big game?
Oh, I'm going Rams. I'm going Rams. Yeah, that defensive front, I think, will be the difference in that game. I love what Joe Burrow brings to the table. I'm so impressed what Cincinnati did last week on defense. That's why they're here. Burrow did his job and all that, but that defense shut Kansas City down in the second half. I don't know if I don't know if Cincinnati can come up with that kind of a defensive effort again. But I'm going to count on the Rams defense to kind of be the difference maker in this game. I'm going Rams over Bengals. I'll be rooting for the Bengals, by the way, because if the Bengals can win it, then there's some hope for the Dolphins to get it done.
That's the same thing I was thinking last weekend. We need some of that down here.
Really, the hell, bro. Just the lightning to hit us once or twice here and get our Dolphins in there one more time. Dude, I'm 55. I just want one more trip and a win, and that's it. I'm good. Fine. I don't need 5 or 10 of them. I just need one more championship for my Dolphins. That's all I'm asking for.
Yes. I'm in the same boat. I'll take more than one, but we need that first one.
No, I know. I know you're a hometown guy like me. All right, Eves, you're the best. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, Big O. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it. There you go, Eve Sham, baby. American Dream Lending, wherever you live in the country. Call him 305-992-5218. He's got his cell phone in hand. Call him anytime you want. GM Hindsight, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, I don't put anything past Ross, but if he was joking, it's believable, stoic, humorless. Brian Flores thought Ross was being serious when he says take $100K and go on vacay. Who knows what to think, man? Ross could have been serious. Ross couldn't be lying. Ross could be joking. I don't know. But I know this, or at least I feel this. I feel that if Flo is saying it, it's because it probably happened. Now, let's see if you can prove it, dog. That's what you got to do. You better be able to prove it, because if you can't, man, you're not going to get anywhere. Yes.
Before you get back to the super chats,
yes,
Ira just sent out a tweet. Kyle Lowry went through shoot-around in San Antonio today. Caleb Martin, Achilles and rest, is out tonight. Jimmy Butler, toe, and PJ Tucker, knee, expected to be available tonight. Lowry will be a game-time decision.
So he's playing. All right. After 9 games, he is back. I saw that. So that's good. And they'll get Lowry back. They need that guy to really run the offense, dude. They really need it. Dougie Fresh sends in a challenge and a super chat. He says, as our DJ, what 3 songs would you play as an anthem for Ross as Finn's owner? It makes me blue. Fools. I live with fools. Ross makes me blue. Fools. I live with fools. I'll go with Van Halen, Fools. That's what I can think of. I'm trying to think of something circus and hurdy-gurdy or whatever, but I'll go with Fools from Van Halen for that. And then what's your second one? As an exit song for Flores. Oh. Huh? What?
Move, bitch. Get out the way.
I like that. Move. I like that. Or we could say, take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. I don't know, but I'm going to go with move, bitch. Yes. I'm going to go with that one. And then what's the other one? The third, the song that gets us all off the ledge. I smoke 2 joints in the morning, and I smoke 2 joints in the afternoon. I smoked 2 joints before I smoked 2 joints, and then I smoked 2 joints again. Because that's about the only thing that's going to get you off the ledge, bro. That's about it. Pretty accurate? That one, right? Okay. So there we go. That's the best I can do. I can try. What else do we have? F the Knicks. Dope show. Thank you, Brandon. He probably said it as a joke and half serious. The problem is, dude, he was at Harbaugh's door. Hey, would you like to coach for us? Don't you have a coach in place right now? That's not important right now. Would you like to coach for us? But don't you have a coach? That's not important. That's the problem. So Ross is a goofball. Ross celebrates Tim Tebow and the Gators in a stadium where his tenant is the Canes. Awareness is not a quality that Ross possesses. Yes, sir.
Can I ask a dumb question?
There are no dumb questions.
No, this one's going to be dumb.
Unless it's Stephen Ross.
This is really going to be dumb. It's
and
Stephen
football.
Ross question. And football. Because he went after Harbaugh the same year they were looking to bring Flores in, right?
No.
Or when was that? When was the Harbaugh?
No, that was when they had Sperano in place.
Okay,
he was already Sperano was your coach.
No, but Sperano, when he got fired, is that when Flores?
No.
There's still somebody in between there?
No, Gase.
Oh, Gase. Duh. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Because my thinking was, who else was being interviewed for the job at that time with Flores?
Oh God, I forgot now the list. I'd have to go back and look at it now.
Because I'm just wondering, like, if they look at that and go, okay,
go look at it.
Who are the other coaches?
Go Dolphins coaching considerations with Brian Flores or whatever 3 years ago.
Who was on there? Because I'm wondering.
Tell us that list. You know what? I want to see that list now, 3 years later. See who succeeded out of that list and who failed out of that list, or did they all fail out of that list, or any of them succeed out of that list? So Chris Richard was in the Flores year. It's 2019. Yes, it would be 2019 Dolphin coaching search. That's what you can put. Yep. Let's see. Jason says, I can't see him asking his first-time head coach. He barely knows. Seriously asking him to tank for money. I can't imagine anyone being that dumb, not even knowing who would be the first pick. Jason, at that time, it was either Tua or then it ended up becoming Burrow. But at that moment, it was a tank for Tua thing. That's where it kind of became the driving force. But you can't see he's that dumb. The guy that went to go see Harbaugh in the middle of a season when he had Tony Sperano? Seriously? Stephen Ross? Not dumb? Yeah, come on, bro. When it comes to football, Stephen Ross is not a smart man. I'm sorry. I couldn't. He's that guy. He's the guy in our group. Okay, like if Stephen Ross was hanging out with me and the fellas in Little Havana, okay, and we finished playing basketball at Arbondale or Shenandoah or Grapeland or any of those places in that area that we would play basketball, okay. So that way, if anybody knows the courts that I'm talking about and the life I lived in all those areas, those kind of people that I lived with, Stephen Ross would be the guy in our group that we would constantly be making fun of. You know, obviously later on in life, he would make fun of us because he's the billionaire. But while we're still friends, we're still going to be busting his balls because he knows nothing about sports. And there's always that guy in your group that says the wackiest things, that doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, that really doesn't follow it or doesn't really get it or doesn't have a good feel for it. You know who I'm talking about. All right? If you have a good group of guys that you grew up with, there's always the weak link. You love him. He's your brother, right? You love him. You'll do anything for him. But when it comes to sports, he just doesn't know jack crap about it. He's just terrible at it. You know that guy. You know he's the donation in the neighborhood when it comes to fantasy football. You love him, but he doesn't know anything. That's Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross would be the butt of the jokes in my neighborhood. We'll be just mortalizing him. Yes.
Chris Richard.
Okay. With a K.
Yes. Darren Rizzi.
Ooh. And
Brian Flores were the final three.
We're the final three. Wow. And Rizzi still is being interviewed again for another job somewhere. And he hasn't gotten a job yet.
Yeah. And Chris Richards is with the Saints.
Right. Right. By the way, we're up here in the second floor poker room here at Hialeah Park, man. So come on out and join us.
My conspiracy theory thinking was this.
Yeah.
Hire the first-time guy thinking he's just going to be a yes man and go along and be thankful for the opportunity. That's what I was wondering who else was involved as far as the hiring with Flores. Did Flores get hired just because they were like, okay, we'll give him the opportunity and then we'll bring him in and try to, knowing they're going to tank and pay him to lose?
Right, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Okay. All righty. Let's see. What else do we have here? Fire Flores. Flores Posh. Well, they already fired Flores. True. Ross doesn't get football or the culture. We are so tribal with football. You don't bring Gators into Canes Village. I know. It's just... It's things that he just doesn't have an awareness of. Jonathan Dill says, Big O, my point is why Flores waited for 3 years to bring this out is if he still was the head coach, would he still keep quiet or speak out? Oh, no, he would have kept quiet. Of course. That's the problem. That's why I say that this would have been easier on him if you would have done it right when it happened 3 years ago. Doing it now looks like sour grapes. That's how it is. By the way, Sloman's Home Security. We love Sloman's Home Security. We got the Sloman's Inside the Paint Show. You can catch it every Wednesday, 9 to 10 a.m. And Sloman's, of course, is a great way to protect your family, protect your business. Call them at 1-800-ALARM-ME. And right below us, we've got a link right there. You can use that link. Use that link so they know it comes from us. And you can check it out and get your Sloman Shield. And right now, 1-800-ALARM-ME, or use that link, and you will get a free doorbell camera. Tell them that Big O sent you. And that free doorbell camera connects to your smartphone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Plus, we're going to give you a free customized home security system, and you're going to love it. It is so easy to use, and it gives you all the flexibility in the world. I love it. Right now, I can get on my phone, check out my dogs inside the house. If somebody's dropping off a package, I can keep up with it. If I'm on my way and I want to order some food and the person delivering the food gets there before I do, I can tell them on the doorbell camera, hey, just leave it right there. Leave it on this corner so it doesn't get wet just in case it rains. That's what you're going to love about your Sloman's home security system. You are in touch with everything going on in your home, in and outside of your home. So if you want to put cameras inside like we have, you can put the cameras inside and the cameras outside. And with the low-cost central station monitoring, you're also getting the LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. The link is below. Check it out. Hit it. First 40 Big O listeners, you will get the free doorbell camera. You can call them if you're driving around, 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tell them that Big O sent you. Support the amazing sponsors that support us. We protect our home. You should protect yours with Sloman's Shield. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you all out there. What else do we have here? George Gonzalez says, hello from Colorado Springs. Flo was in the Pats cheat machine. Now he's Mr. Integrity. Come on, Ross. Hired him, but before he thought Flo would play ball. Yeah. I've talked about this several times also, that he's not Mr. Integrity when you're working for the Patriots. But let's have a little fun here. So Ross says, no, let's hire Flo. He comes from a cheating environment. So he'll help us tank that first year. So yeah, let's bring a guy that is normally used to cheating. And then all of a sudden, when Ross tells him, hey, give you $100,000 for every loss, dude. It's nothing for me. $100,000 is like $10 for me, man. So $100,000 for every loss. What do you got to say, Flo? And he thought Flo would be like, yeah, man, I'm with you, dude. I want to get Tua or Burrow or whatever it is, the best quarterback. Let's do it. Let's do it, boss. Yeah, I got a 5-year contract. It's guaranteed. Yeah, damn right. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. And then Flo said, no. And Ross was like, whoa, wait a minute. What do you mean no, dude? How are you not going to – you worked with Belichick. I mean, like he's stealing signals and taping plays and doing all kinds of things with the headsets and all that. You're in a culture of cheating. What do you mean you won't cheat with us?
It's the Dolphins way, right?
Yeah,
you hire the wrong one.
You hired the wrong one. You
hired the guy with integrity.
I guess
only guy in the Patriots building with integrity,
right?
Brian Flores.
That's it.
And we're the ones that hired him.
Yep. Should have hired Donaghy, the NBA referee. At least if you hire Donaghy, you know what you're getting. So George Gonzalez in Colorado Springs, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you for the love on the super chat. And can't wait to go to Red Rocks again for a concert. Cannot wait, man. Let's see. Rams winning the Super Bowl. News alert, Flores just hired at CNN as ice baiter. What does that mean? Or you mean race baiter? Okay. If Flores would have acted more like Samuel L. Jackson and less like Jamie Foxx, we would have Burrow and be in the Super Bowl. You all are a trip. I don't know why this Brady tampering this is an issue when they probably came out and said they don't know why he would come to Miami when they were rebuilding. There was no tampering because Brady never got there and Flo left. So that's just a story. It doesn't really end up being anything. The 100K one is the one that becomes a real story. That's the one that becomes a real story. What? What'd you say?
I looked at the 2018 Patriots coaching staff to see what other cheaters were in the building besides Flores.
Right.
I mean, you had Chad O'Shea, which did come with the Dolphins.
Right. Cheater.
With Flores. You had Josh McDaniels.
Cheater.
Was there. Jerry Saplinski was their quarterback's coach. Dante Scarnecchia.
Cheater.
Nick Caley.
Cheater.
Let me go back over there. Joe Judge was the special teams coach.
He's a what's it called? A robe wearing cheater.
Yep. Steve Belichick was safeties.
By the way, judges in New York are failing left and right, baseball and football. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Say that again. What?
You had Belichick. Steve Belichick was in charge of safeties.
Definitely a cheater.
Josh Boyer, cornerbacks.
Cheater.
Brendan Daly, the defensive line.
Cheater.
Now, here's where it gets a little
See,
bit
the good
interesting.
thing is we're keeping Josh around.
Yeah.
Because he'll cheat.
You know who was an assistant? Brett Bielema.
Brett Bielema?
Bielema, yeah. He was a consultant to the head coach.
Wow. Cheater. Cheater.
We went to one guy.
They're all
the
cheaters.
One guy.
Yep, the one guy with integrity. I tell you. Cheaters. They're all a bunch of stinking cheaters. They're all cheaters. Do you know what I'm saying? They're cheaters, man. They're all cheaters. All right, what else do we have here that I wanted to talk about on the show? Although we've got Marcel coming up right now, so we'll have some fun with him. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see what else do we have here. It's American freedom of speech. Yes, it is, Jeff. Freedom of speech. That's what it is. It's all about freedom of speech. What else did I have here that I wanted to talk about on the Cho Ming? Oh, by the way, did you see that you remember that whole comment about Brady and that you're staying with that MFer? You remember that story? You guys remember that story about Brady and he when he was a free agent and that you were staying with that MFer? Well, we may know who the MFer is that Tom Brady was talking about. So, as you all know, Brady was ready to hit the free agent market, and before he went to Tampa. So the story, and remember, it was part of that whole barbershop show type thing. So now they say that the story is that it was Ryan Fitzpatrick. That you're staying with that guy. So I don't know if it's true or not. You know what I'm saying? But it's just kind of funny how they say that it was Ryan Fitzpatrick that they're talking. I mean, they've labeled everybody: Garoppolo, Tannehill, Fitzpatrick. It's almost like anybody and everybody that he could have, actually replaced. It's right. Every starting every questionable starting quarterback in the NFL pretty much ended up getting that label. So Fitzpatrick is the next one now that is getting that. All right. Marcel Louis-Jacques, baby. He is, of course, going to deliver the goods as always with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's the ESPN Dolphin insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
All right, there we go. Marcel Louis-Jacques is ready to go. And the Miami Dolphins. So Marcel, did you think you were signing up for Circus?
I Yeah, my agent told me that Miami was going to be more interesting, and he's not been wrong so far. Just when I thought we were making some progress on that coaching search, then of course this bombshell drops on Tuesday, and I think it's going to be a minute before we get to the end of it, man. This is going to be it's going to be an eventful offseason.
Oh no, that's off season. That thing's going to last a couple years, bro. They're going to drag this thing out. And if Flo doesn't really want to check, although his lawyer, I heard him say, this will be more than about a check. So if he does want to try to force some change, this is going to take forever. And, one of the things that I've come to realize that I think is going to end up happening here is the NFL, the Miami Dolphins, and if the Cleveland Browns, if there's anything to what Hugh Jackson says and there's any truth to it, I think they will galvanize. And I don't think, for Dolphins that were hoping to get rid of Stephen Ross, I don't think the NFL is going to do that because this will be a stain on the entire league if you open up this Pandora's box. So instead, I think they're going to try to fight it. And unless Ross has tangible proof, not he said, I don't know how he proves this. And I think the league will fight it all the way to the end because they're getting tied to, gambling entities and things like that. They can't have these kind of doubts lingering about the league. So I think they're actually going to go the other way, and maybe you won't end up losing Ross. You might get Ross protected in a Snyder way, like the league has done.
Yeah, well, here's my hang up on this situation. Brian Flores, over the past 3 years, have you known him to be a big media guy?
No.
Have you known him to want to do interviews? No. I mean, this is not his comfort zone. So for something to push him to the point where he will go do 3 nationally televised interviews in a morning, like, this ain't fluff, man. Like, there is something to it. His lawyers say that they have corroborative evidence. They say they have witnesses. The witnesses, it's not as critical as the evidence that they mentioned. But I think there is something to this, man. Like, obviously, they say there's 3 sides, right?
No, I
There's
believe.
3 sides,
I
right?
believe. No. I'm not saying Flo is lying. Okay, I believe, dude. I saw he went after Harbaugh with Sperano in place. So Ross is already guilty by association of doing stupid things. He celebrates the Gators while his tenant is UM. This guy has no awareness. So I believe Flo 100% that he was offered the 100K. But if there's no tangible proof, if there's no piece of paper, if there's no email, if there's no text, if there's nothing that ties it to, and it's just he said, the league will galvanize, the teams will galvanize against him, and it'll be left as a myth. It'll be you guessing, did Ben Roethlisberger did rape her or not? Did OJ kill him or not? Is Area 51 real or not? All of these things that we have in our world that has happened, and we keep wondering, did Barry Bonds shoot up or not? Because his head got really big. All of these things that we're left in kind of the gray area, and your gut tells you whatever you want to believe. That kind of. That's what I think the NFL is shooting for. And to leave that gray area where we never will really know, and then they can move on.
Yeah, what bugged me about the NFL's initial statement was, I understand that you want to defend yourself. I understand if you want to distance yourself from allegations, but
I know where you're going.
Like, you know what I mean? Don't come out and immediately say, these are inherently false. These have no merit. Like, they clearly have some merit. He's got text messages from Bill Belichick. There is some merit to it. Your first step should always be, if you really want to show open-mindedness, your first step should always be toward recognizing the possibility that you were in the wrong.
Right.
And then you can distance yourself from it after that. We're going to investigate. We take these matters very seriously. We have always sought to do X, Y, Z. We're going to investigate. But to come out and just say, like, the way it read off of me was, we've got black coaches. These claims have no merit.
Right.
No way.
Right.
He's lying.
And we know it's completely the opposite. I mean, give me a break. Look, And I'll give you an example. I don't know. I don't know if the Giants hiring practice was actually racist, but unfortunately, with the Giants, you have a track record, my brother. You've never hired a minority as a head coach, so it's you got nothing to stand on. You know what I mean? At least the Dolphins, you can never say that about the Dolphins because if you walk in that building, it's as diverse as it gets. So that has a lot of minorities in it. So that part you can't charge it on the Dolphins, but the Giants, I can say because I've been on the side where you're hiring people, and I've had an interview where okay, that's the person I want for sure. But I already had 2 or 3 other people already set for interviews. So they were going to have to knock my socks off in order to get hired. You know what I mean? Because I already had somebody in mind. I said, okay, I found the person. So I've been in that position where I know how it's like that if you do meet somebody that you like, you go, okay, this is it right here. Now, Mike Tomlin actually got the job that way because Russ Grimm was the guy that they were going to hire. And then Tomlin was like a throw-in at the end. And he came in and he knocked them out. And it was like, holy crap, well, wait a minute. Maybe Russ is not the right guy. We're going to go here. You know what I mean? But the Rooneys are a little bit more open than most people. So it's a little different. That's why we call it the Rooney Rule, at least. But
yeah, and that's just one. That is one example, one known example of the Rooney rule working. And I mean, how many openings do we have in this league per year, and how many times? So it's just this is what happens when diversity is not organic. When you try to manufacture diversity, you try to manufacture open-mindedness and open thought, then people are going to just do it to check a box. Like it's like the same concept as Inception, man. Like it's not your idea; somebody put it there.
Right. No, you're 1,000% right. The sad part is it'll never change unless you're the NBA. That's it. Unless you're willing to change as a league, the faces of the people that own your teams, the faces that run your teams, the faces that coach your team, that you are willing. See, the NBA, it's all about inclusion, female, gays, blacks, Latins, Asian, doesn't matter who you are, bro. They don't give a crap, and they resemble more our society than anything else. And unfortunately, no league comes even close to actually understanding diversity the way the NBA does. Only league.
And the NBA has made a pretty prominent push to be a global league. I mean, they obviously have a huge market in China. There is an international system, basically not a technical system, but I mean, they regularly have players drafted from the Euro leagues. Like
we have FIBA, dude. It's soccer and basketball. Those are the 2 ultimate international sports. Yeah, I know there's boxing and
baseball tries, but
a little baseball, but basketball is the only true international sport next to soccer. Only one that you can really say. You know how many basketball leagues there are in this world? I mean, dude, almost tons of countries already have their own basketball leagues. No, basketball is as diverse and legit as it gets in resembling us as a society. But again, you have some diversity in ownership. You have no diversity in ownership in the NFL. And until you get diversity in the ownership, it won't ever trickle down, man. It just won't.
We'll see what happens with the Broncos here. And that would be a massive step forward. Ironically, the Broncos are also, though, named in that lawsuit as a team that abused the Rooney Rule. And I'm curious if Flores has any evidence of that. That might be a little bit harder to prove. But
especially when John Elway looks like a human Shar-Pei, so he always looks disheveled. I mean, seriously, if you meet like John Elway in person, you look at him and you're like, whoa, wow, holy crap! It's like, wow, there's a lot of wrinkles there, bro. There's a lot of stuff going on in that face, So he normally looks disheveled. I just want to say he's kind of like the Nick Nolte of the NFL. I'm just saying. I'm just who knows, but The problem is he's going to have trouble making that change. That's the sad part about all of this crap. That there's an enormous problem. We know that minorities don't get the fair shake, but how in the hell do you change it, man? How, Marcel?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question, right? If people knew how to change it, then in theory it would be changed already. That's what makes me a little skeptical of this process. I am happy that Brian Flores was able to put his name to it and maybe start a movement. Everything's got to start somewhere. Change has to start somewhere. But this is the NFL we're talking, and initiative after initiative we've seen from them more or less fall flat. Like, what are we gonna get another decal on the helmet? I saw somebody tweet that the end racism decals in the end zone, they're going to make them 3 sizes bigger now in order to respond to this. Like, what tangible change are we going to see? What can we see? I don't know. I don't have the answers.
Here's a great example. Why do women even watch football? Because for years the league does nothing. For decades, men are beating women constantly. For Christ's sake, when Ray Rice got in trouble, we had women wearing free Ray Rice shirts and signs. This league knows it's Teflon, and it does not get punished for the beating of women, the mistreatment of minorities, the lack of, any kind of equal level playing field out there. They are absolutely Teflon, dude. Their players could kill somebody, and next week they could be on the sidelines, and it's nothing. It's crazy. Its players are played to a point that they end up with mental issues, and they're killing themselves right there in front of your facility, putting a bullet in their chest. And we know that there's head trauma and concussion for decades, yet this league is so Teflon. No matter what negativity comes through it, it never stops the machine. And nobody ever stops, no minority ever stops buying tickets, knowing that minorities get mistreated. Women don't stop buying tickets and going to games and buying the red zone and all that. We talk a lot of shit, but we don't do anything, and we allow them to get away with absolutely everything.
Yeah, whatever happened to remember how many people were done with the NFL forever after they allowed after watching Kaepernick and Eric Reed,
all that crap,
and Kenny Stills kneel on the sideline, or people who are never going to watch again. The league is doing Wilt Chamberlain numbers on television this year. Like, people aren't going to stop. They own the day of the week. They're putting stock in more. And now the NFL owns Monday and Thursday. It's going for Saturdays late in the year. Like, it's
Christmas.
It's an unstoppable
Christmas,
Thanksgiving. It's an impossible machine to stop.
That's so, and that's the problem. It's the petulant child that is spoiled and acts like a brat, and the parents keep giving that kid everything. So then how in the hell is that kid ever going to learn? And they know it. These owners know that they're absolutely Teflon. And that's why they can get away with the mistreatment of minorities or women or homosexuals or whatever it is, or mistreatment of their players with, brain injuries and all that kind of stuff. And they can sweep everything under the rug, and they get away with it.
They do. And so without any tangible smoking gun, and that's the thing about the NFL, man, like, there's a lot of crazy stuff that, is not public knowledge, but these teams' security departments, the league security departments, like, these are former special ops guys. These are, counterintelligence guys, that pivoted careers. There's a reason why a lot of stuff doesn't come out. There's a reason why, despite all the dirt that's happened in the NFL over the past however many years, you don't often see proof of that, because these are forensic security departments. That's why I'm curious what Brian Flores was able to hold on to, what
Yeah.
on earth his lawyers found, because he just went to his lawyers, I think the day he got the text message from Belichick, so January 24th, that was a week and change ago. What all have they found that warrants a class action lawsuit? It's one of those where, obviously there's a lot of talking points and everybody's going to have an opinion on it, but it's going to be one of those where we really have to just wait and see and let the process play out.
No, I'm with you there. It's I'm so intrigued to see what kind of real tangible evidence, because he will be the first person in the history that will be able to bring the league to its knees, because the league will not want that evidence to come out because of the implications of it and everything else, like the Black Sox of the 1900s for baseball, and it was something that stuck with them for a while. Cheating is something that will be, the NBA and all that stuff. That's the NFL is not going to want to be tied to something like that. So I'm really intrigued to see what kind of evidence he has. All right, Mike McDaniel, what happens with this? He interviews tomorrow. Are you expecting any hurdles, any issues with it, or do you still think Mike McDaniel gets named coach of the Miami Dolphins by the weekend?
Yeah, so obviously last time I was on the show was Monday. That was Mike McDaniel's original, I don't want to say firmly scheduled interview, but that was the day that they were aiming for. Just things happened and it got pushed back into later in the week. I'm told Chris Greer has been telling people in the building that he would like to hire a coach by the end of the week. I'm not sure how much this current, Flores' lawsuit impacts that timeline, but there is a more of a sense of urgency this week from the Dolphins than there has been in weeks past. But it's really, again, I called Mike McDaniel the front runner on Monday. That part hasn't changed. I think based on resume, based on the pool of candidates, I think it's Mike McDaniel's job to lose at this point.
All right, there you go. What are you working on ESPN so folks can check you out, man?
Oh, shoot, man. We've been talking about it for the past 20 minutes. Everything is lawsuit and coaching search. That's
I don't know. You might have some nugget you're working on, bro. You might have a little something that you want to tease. You know what I mean? There's a good opportunity to tease. That's all.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have a whole slab of work ready after they make this coaching hire. Until then, it's all speculatory and source telling. It'd be as soon as we get something concrete on the table, then I'll bless everybody.
All right, good stuff. And follow him on Twitter, by the way, at Marcel_LJ. Marcel, as always, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for taking some time. We will catch up next week, my friend.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. Follow him on Twitter, Marcel_LJ. Marcel Louis-Jacques.
You now have the edge on the Miami Dolphins with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Report featuring ESPN's Marcel Louis-Jacques. Get the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste. You can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com.
edgedrink.com, and delicious it is, smooth it is, and the amazing part is zero aftertaste. Okay? Zero aftertaste. Zero. Just delicious. Just smooth. I end up drinking it like freaking water. I have to be a little careful because the sips are getting bigger and bigger every time I take them with the Edge Energy Drink. You know what I'm saying? You Mr. Energy drink guy.
Yeah,
so.
I got to order a couple cases today, actually.
You did?
As soon as we finish here, I'm going to get them ordered.
Okay. There you go. All right. We got to talk to John, man, to hook you up there overall, man. So, yes. But so good, man. So good. So, we have the link below us also, right? We do have a link below us, right, to order Edge Energy drink? Huh? Yeah, the general link, myedgedrink.com. You could just go to the website, myedgedrink.com. So order it there and get it delivered right away, man. That's the best place to order it. and you will enjoy it. I promise you. And by the way, mix it with a little vodka, a little rum. Try it. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I had it with some Grey Goose over the weekend. I needed it on Saturday to thaw out. Holy crap. I was cold. Man, that drink came in really, really good. All right, what else do we have here going on the program? Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. All right. By the way, we are hoping that Turek Williams is going to be joining us too on the show here to have a little fun. Billy Idol is stepping away, and on the music side, Billy Idol is having some surgery, so Toto is stepping in on the Journey tour, and it is coming to Florida, to Orlando at the Amway Center on April 21st. I wasn't going to go to this concert. Look, I've seen Journey a bunch of times, and I love this Journey. I do. I've seen the Steve Perry Journey, obviously, the best. But I love what Arnell does. I think he does a great job. They weren't coming here, so I wasn't going to go. And I've seen Idol a 1,000 times. I love Idol too. But Toto, I love Toto. And there's enough there still that they sound great. And I got to say, I may go up to Orlando to the Amway Center on the 21st to see that concert. If I'm available and I'm not, I know we got to go a little bit right after that to Vegas to go for the draft because it's in just a couple days after that. But I believe it's the 28th is the first day of the draft. So the 21st, I might go to that one, man. I might go to that one. Rod Stewart and Cheap Trick are also touring. They're not coming here. They're going to the Amalie Arena on September 3rd in Tampa. So Central Florida is getting some of the concerts that we're not getting, which kind of sucks. Okay. And the Cult also touring. We're not getting any local dates here in South Florida. St. Pete, April 21st. So the same night of Toto and Journey is the Cult at the Duke Energy Center in St. Pete, which, by the way, it's the first date of the tour for that one for the Cult. So you folks in Central Florida, you're getting a couple of extra shows that we're not getting, which no shock here that we miss out on it. Jason Meyer says, I'm in hospitality, love my job, but not going to get rich from it. No, you're not. And kudos to you because people in hospitality are dropping like flies, not dying. I mean, they're like quitting. Certain groups, service, hospitality, and healthcare. Oh my God, they are losing people left and right. So I would imagine that you have a lot of hours in hospitality with all the people that are leaving. By the way, did you see the story on Frank Gore? You know, Frank Gore had a recent fight, right? He had that celebrity boxing match. Okay, so if you're ready for this, this is going to be pretty disturbing what I'm about to tell you, okay? He fought with some questionable brain reports going into that fight. How screwed up is that? And so and from a legal fight, they made it an exhibition. Yeah, that's why they made it an exhibition, because then they don't have to then put their name on it if he has any medical issues from this. But apparently he had some negative reports out of his MRI of his brain. And then he still stepped into the ring to fight. And you figure the way Frank Gore played the game, he played it like a battering ram. And he took all those hits. And to hear that, which again, I believe that when this was happening, I said, why is Frank Gore fighting? I believe I said that. I said, he's beaten up his body enough. This is irresponsible. What is it? Are you desperate? Do you need the money that badly? And I you just worry about things like that. And I saw that story and I was like, damn, dude. Really, man? Frank Gore, health issues. Oh, can you send that link I sent you? That email there? Send him that link. I sent it to you. You have it. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I sent it to you. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Try the other one. Yeah, those two. Okay, try send either one. I don't know. Send them because apparently they're not getting them. But anyway, I saw that story with Frank, and I was just floored and sad. Sad because if anybody's ever met Frank Gore, he's one of the best people you will ever meet. So the third leading rusher in NFL history had multiple white spots on the MRI of his brain he was required to take by the Florida Athletic Commission as part of his request to box ex-NBAer Deron Williams, December 18th in Florida. Mike Mazzulli, the president of the Association Boxing Commission, told Yahoo Sports the bout was changed from a pro bout to an exhibition on the 17th as the weigh-in, though no one from either fighter's camp nor the state of Florida has revealed why Florida does not regulate exhibition bouts. But Gore, 38, was required to take 2 MRIs by the state, which Gore told Yahoo Sports he passed. It has come to the attention of the Association of the Boxing Commission that Frank Gore had a questionable brain MRI. The ABC stands always for fighters' safety. We have a medical committee ready to assist states, and this is the kind of case where we want them to know we are available to help. Just, these are things that you just wish would never end up happening. Your fault? Okay.
Yeah, I did .com instead of .gov when I sent the first one.
All right, well, tell them that. Okay. Frankie says, Big O, what do you think of Inter Miami getting DeAndre Yeldon? Frankie, we will see what happens during the season. Here's one thing I'm glad for Inter Miami, okay? Because I don't know what any of these new players are going to do. What I do like is that they went young. And so maybe now I'm hoping that you do a little bit like the Heat and you're able to find a couple of real diamonds in the rough. And I think in soccer, in the MLS, I think you can easily do that. Okay. Not that it's easy to do it, is what I'm saying is it's, I think, easier to find diamonds in the rough in MLS soccer than it is in the NBA. And so if Chris Henderson is good enough, which I believe he is, I think he'll find some guys. And maybe now Inter can head in the right direction because, dude, they were too old. They were disgustingly old and unathletic, and there was no speed, and they were overpaid. And so now I don't think they'll be very good, but maybe you can start to develop a couple of guys for the future. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. And then in the next year or two, this season and next season, you get through these cap issues, and then you have all the flexibility you can possibly get, and you unload Higuain. You know what I mean? Because you've got another year left until you can unload that salary, which is just going to straddle you. And I think Chris Henderson will bring a little more intelligence to what kind of international players you add to the mix. That's what I also like about Chris Henderson. I think he'll be a better general manager, and that when they do spend money on an international player, okay, on a DP where they can only do 3 of them, and I think Chris Henderson is a little better than the prior regime. They understand 3 is not 5. Okay? And so they'll get 3 DPs, but I think they'll spend their money wisely the next time on DPs. And there won't be stupidity like signing a midfielder or a defensive player for your. I mean, I don't mind a midfielder if he's an offensive midfielder, but a defensive midfielder as one of your 3 DPs, come on, dude. What, are you kidding me? That's just plain stupid. You know? At the moment, I was working for the team, so when they signed the Frenchman, I couldn't say because I was working for the team, but I was inside. I was fuming, going, "What are you doing, signing a defensive player? Get a guy that can score some goals." That's what it's all about. All right. Let's see. Are we ready? Is Officer Williams ready there? I think we got Officer Williams, Officer Turek Williams. I don't know. I got to make sure that I pronounced his name right for the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. He's also a former FIU Golden Panther, I believe, if I'm correct. Drafted also in the NFL, so got a little taste of the NFL. And Turek is nice enough now to join us on the program. Is it Turek Williams? Am I pronouncing it right, Officer Williams?
Yes, sir. Torek Williams.
Turek Williams. All right. I like it. All right. So talk to me a little bit about, are you a Dolphins fan growing up? or what kind of a fan are you in the NFL?
You know what? I was a Dolphins fan until they let me down so many times going through, high school, middle school. But when I got drafted by the Chargers in 2013, I dropped them, man. I'm like, you know what? They don't want me. I don't want them either. So I let my Dolphin spirit go.
I got you. So you're a Justin Herbert guy now.
Hey, now I am. Yes. I mean, I like a few quarterbacks, but he's one of them. He's definitely one of them. He's in that top.
I mean, it's your favorite team now, right? You're a Chargers guy now. So
yeah, I mean, I like players. I'm more of a player guy, but I do root for the Chargers full time now. So yeah, pretty much I'm a Chargers fan at this point.
Okay, all right, good stuff. How long have you been on the force there with the Fort Lauderdale Police Department?
I've been on about 2 years or so. August will make 3 years.
And by the way, flpd.com, they are hiring certified and uncertified police officers. So for those of you, maybe you're watching us around the country and you're unhappy where you're at and you're thinking about moving to a much better climate and much better police department.
Yes, sir.
You want to come down to the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. They are hiring certified and uncertified police officers. So if you're not getting treated right, New York City, if you're not getting treated right, Chicago, if you're not getting treated right, Seattle, then just come on down, man. Stop freezing your ass off and getting mistreated. Come on down to the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, man. So talk to me a little bit. What inspired you to be a police officer? Because I always find that intriguing. Like my wife is a teacher. And so, anybody that cares to serve our community, I'm always intrigued by the motivations because it ain't money.
Right. I mean, yeah, true.
You all deserve a lot more money. I'm just saying, teachers, police officers, firemen. I'm just saying we should be paying them a lot more. But I know money isn't the motivation. So what is the motivation?
Okay, so for me, it started when going through college or whatever. I met some really good friends on my team. Some of those, many of those guys are my best friends now who I play football with at FIU. So actually my roommate from college, Junior Delpy, is actually an officer, and he's been an officer for almost 7 years in Fort Lauderdale. So we would always talk, and those guys who I know several guys who I played with at FIU down in Miami-Dade also. We talked, and they was like, hey, man, if football don't work out, I think you'll make a good cop. So, I played 4 years. I ended up getting hurt my neck. Tried to play more, tried to move on. But, I would always hear those echoes of like, hey, if you want to use this as a backup plan, man, this would be a good spot. We do a lot of good things for the community. And it's kind of like how it was with football, where we engage with the community and we just kind of, bring the hype around it, I guess I sort of say, we make people excited about it. You know what I mean? When we come around as athletes, they love athletes. And I kind of want to bring that love around to policing too, because we're not loved by everybody. But I think we'll get back to that and just show people that we're human, we're normal, and, we'll do right by the community. We'll definitely be fair and do what we have to do. But
yeah, and I think, one of the things that I think, I can't speak for other departments, but I know since I'm working closer with you guys, you guys are doing a lot more community relations stuff. And, when I was a kid, I remember officers hanging around our neighborhood and we would actually know their names and they would stop by the park and we would rap with them and, have some fun. Hey, turn on the sirens, and they would turn it on for a moment and we would get a kick out of it. And we built a relationship with the officers locally in the neighborhood. And there's a sense of trying to do some of those elements again, isn't there?
There is actually with the new Chief Schrodo, that's his thing. He wants us to engage the community, just go out, speak to people, because a lot of people look at cops like robots,
Right.
and I'm obviously not a robot. I've only been a cop for 2 years. I've done a lot of other things in my life, played sports, went to college, totally normal dude. We don't come out of, we don't just get burst with a gun in our hand. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
that sort of thing that people think like, oh man, this guy's been a cop, military guy all his life. No, not me, man. I actually played sports. I was those kids out in the streets playing football, throw up tackle, went to college, did those things, made it to the NFL, played. So now I just want to show people the other side, like, hey, look, I'm you and me. You know what I mean? I'm no different than you.
Sure.
I'm out here in the community to help you, help me out also, So we just trying to build those bonds back up and just get things going in the right direction.
Officer Turek Williams from the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, former FIU Golden Panther, which, by the way, I like your new coach. That dude kind of rubs me the right way. I hope he works out for FIU, man. I love his enthusiasm. I love his energy and all of it. I don't know what you've seen so far. Obviously, he's got to prove it on the field. And I know they had a whole bunch of recruits come in now. Just out of curiosity, your thoughts on the changes over there?
I think the changes were needed. And it happened at it was a little overdue, to be honest, because with the last coach, with Butch, he was saying how he didn't really have the backing. He had to get older pads from other schools, like hand-me-down stuff. I don't think a Division I program should ever have to get hand-me-down equipment.
No.
You know what I mean? So what this new guy's doing, they hired from the top to bottom with the AD, and everything. So it's like, I think them bringing this guy in, he was coach of the year, I think in 2015 or 2016 or something like that. He's bringing in a lot of good guys. I'm sure they're excited to be there, and I think they'll do a great job, man, and just get the team and program moving in the right direction again, because we were going in a good place when Butch first started, and they won a lot of games. So hopefully they can keep that momentum and just get in the right. I see they also got a few good players out of the transport portals and stuff like that, so it'll be good.
Now, Officer Williams, you were talking about something that, you're just like a regular person, which is so true.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I think is very interesting and what you've done in your life, we all face fear, man. Fear of losing your job, fear that you've got to provide for your family, food for your kids. You got to pay for the rent every month, pay for the mortgage, your car payments. We deal with all kinds of fears overall because, life can throw all kinds of, things at you, right?
Yep.
And so you play the game of football. There's a level of fear when you play that game at FIU and then when you go to the NFL, because these are big, strong, tough dudes and they're looking to knock your head off. So the collisions are real. The pain is real. Obviously, you had to deal with a neck injury. So these kind of things are real. That's a fear that you've got to overcome. All kinds of fears that we have to overcome. And so you have to, the regular fear of getting your classwork done, the regular fear of playing the game of football. But then when we jump to police work and you have to deal with the fear of the streets, and we know that there aren't people out there making the right decisions all the time, Officer Williams. We've got people that are going crazy in shopping centers, in airplanes, in road rage incidents, all these things, domestic issues that you guys have to deal with on a consistent basis. I just saw we're in San Francisco in the NFC Championship game this weekend. There's a guy that's in a coma, all of this kind of crap that you guys deal with. How do you deal with the fear of putting your life on the line every single day? Because my brother, this is my 32nd year doing radio. I've never put my life on the line ever in my job. I have no fear of that. I have fear of paying bills. I have fear of, can I survive doing this? Okay, those are normal fears that we all deal with. But your fear level is another one. How do you deal with that on an everyday basis? How do you not think about it? How do you comprehend all those kind of things? Because you face, all of you officers all across the country who do an awesome job for us. You face fears we never face. How do you deal with them?
First of all, I think it all boils down to I'm a firm believer in God and stuff like that. And I just feel like, we're covered, man, and we're gonna be okay. You know what I mean? I just always feel this shield of protection from the big man up above, and I actually don't have fear. You know what I mean? When I think about these things, because it's like, if you sit back and you think about it and you kind of break it down the way you did, it'll probably drive somebody absolutely nuts. But for me and a lot of other people, a lot of people I work with, played football with in the past, we don't really think about that, man. We just go out there and do our job, and we put our best foot forward every day. You know what I mean? Instead
I
of
got you.
focusing on negatives, we only focus on the positive. Anything that we can bring and just make light of our situations, or just do the right thing, and just, you know what I mean? It's just, when you're so positive, the negativity.
It's funny how you go, you know what I mean? And I'm like, actually, no, I don't, bro.
Okay.
Just because I don't know what it's like to be you. I don't know what it's like to have to face a husband that's in rage in the middle of a domestic issue. I don't know what it's like to walk up to a car and you're it's only a traffic stop. And speaking of it, um there one of the officers that was in Little Havana, okay, he ended up losing his life on a traffic stop at the cemetery there on 8th Street and 32nd Avenue. He pulled over a guy, and that was the last time he worked. And so that's one of those things that we all fear. So we can't comprehend what it's like, what goes through your mind when you're walking up to that driver's side window to ask for the license, and you don't know what you're about to face.
Right.
That's a fear, that's an unknown that none of us get to experience, and you have to experience that a crap ton throughout the year. I mean, we've never walked up to a car. Now you guys have to walk up to a car, and your right side of your hand is right on your gun because you have no choice. You have to be really, really careful. These are fears we never deal with.
Right. You are correct. Well, I would say you got to focus more on your training. We train for stuff like that. Obviously, we can't fully go through a full shootout in a training, but
right,
we can obviously get better at our craft and just make sure we get better each and every day. So, God forbid that happens where we have to hurt someone or somebody's trying to hurt us, but it's a reality. And we just have to be prepared for it at all times, always knowing that the what if can happen, but we don't focus on it.
Yeah, let me tell you, it's a hell of a skill that every police officer, fireman, because it's a different fear, right? It's not that the fireman's not fearing a gun, but they're fearing the fire, and they're fearing trying to save somebody and going into a smoke-filled building and those kind of things. And for you guys to compartmentalize that and not think of the negative that comes with all of the territory that you guys do on an everyday basis, I don't think that those of us really think about that all the time. The things that a fireman goes through, the things a paramedic has to go through. I mean, think about the pressures. You're trying to save somebody's life, and if that person dies on you in the van on the way to the hospital, it's got to be devastating for that person. Our civil servants deal with certain fears that we don't deal with, and that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Oh yeah, it's you definitely have to have a strong mind, and you have to have a great foundation, because I would say more so bigger than anything is what's going on at home, is your family foundation and how you were raised. And it'll do, and I can't say it for everybody, but just for me, the way I was raised, how I was brought up with God first, we just focus on the positive, and we'll do all obviously if we're out in the field and there's something going on like that and we can do all we can do to help someone, we'll definitely do that. But we'll give it our best shot every time. So I'm okay with putting my best foot forward every day and staying positive. And, we'll save lives and we'll do the right thing.
Damn right. Officer Torek Williams joining us. So, by the way, who's winning, Rams or Bengals?
I need the Rams to win. I need them to
win. Wait a minute. I need the Rams to win? Okay, what's the need?
You know what? I really like Aaron Donald. Like, just the way he plays football it's unreal. So I need that guy to get a Super Bowl victory.
Okay. Well, I know what you're saying. No, I understand completely what you're saying. It's one of those things that when you watch Dan Marino walk away without a Super Bowl, you're pissed. You know what I mean? You're like, yo, man, what the hell, bro? This is a guy that should have been, celebrating a Super Bowl. So when we see the great players walk away from the game, and they're one of the great players of the game, and you're going, damn, dude, Barry Sanders had to walk away from the stinking Lions because he was tired of losing. And you'll never see another Barry Sanders again in your entire life. Because I know you're probably too young for even Barry Sanders, right?
I've seen highlights. That's
right.
all.
You only seen highlights, right? But for me, it's like I know I'll never see another Barry Sanders again. And they had two of them. You did see Calvin Johnson, and so Calvin Johnson's another one of those guys. So I know exactly what you're saying. It's no matter what kind of a fan you are of any team in the world, there are certain players that you gravitate to and you respect. And Aaron Donald's that guy that all of us respect, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Every one of us. And we're like, yeah, that's a championship caliber type player. I hope he celebrates one because, if the Rams never win one, it's not because of him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's so I know exactly what you're thinking, and I agree with you on that one. One more thing before I let you go. For people that are thinking about getting into the police department and becoming a part of our community and making our community better and protecting our citizens and serving our community, why should they join the Fort Lauderdale Police Department?
I feel like they should join the Fort Lauderdale Police Department because we're fair and impartial. We do things the right way. And it's a lot of great officers in our department, and we only push each other to be better, and we always help each other out, and we make sure we have each other's backs at the end of the day.
I love it. FLPD.com is the website. If you've been thinking about it, this is the department you want to join, the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, FLPD.com. And remember, not just here in South Florida, not throughout Florida, but throughout the country. So if you're not happy where you're at, certified, uncertified, check it out, FLPD.com. Officer Torek Williams, thank you, sir. I appreciate you, my brother. We will catch up again down the line.
No problem. Thank you, Big O.
You got it. There you go. Our Fort Lauderdale Police Department. Torek Williams joining us here on the program. I like it. By the way, did you see the Pacers sign Lance Stevenson for the remainder of the season? 4 10-day contracts, and then they sign. I mean, it's just like, it's full circle, baby. He's come home.
Home to roost.
The Whisperer. All right. John Elway has released a statement. He apparently is a little pissed off, and the human Sharpay is not happy with what Brian Flores has said. And I think John Elway is kind of tired of being called a drunk, basically, is what it's going on, because every interview they do, they talk about how disheveled and all that, and they were probably drunk or whatever, the Broncos. So, while I was not planning to respond publicly to the false and defamatory claims by Brian Flores, I could not be silent any longer with my character, integrity, and professionalism being attacked. I took Coach Flores very seriously as a candidate for our head coaching position in 2019 and enjoyed our 3.5-hour interview with him, along with the rest of our group. I was prepared, ready, and fully engaged during the entire interview as Brian shared his experience and vision for our team. It's unfortunate and shocking to learn for the first time this week that Brian felt differently about our interview with him. For Brian to make the assumption about my appearance and state of mind early that morning was subjective, hurtful, and just plain wrong. Which, by the way, if it is the morning, wow, you were drunk in the morning? If I appeared disheveled, as he claimed, it was because we had flown in during the middle of the night, immediately following another interview in Denver, and we were on a few hours of sleep to meet the only window provided to us. So, yeah, I think any of us would look disheveled. I mean, I never look good anyway in anything. But I think the day that I flew back and I did the show on a couple of hours of sleep, I probably looked a little disheveled myself too, right? Getting off a plane and going right to work on 2 hours of sleep inside a car.
Yeah, you're a little disheveled.
Yeah, well, that's normal. So I interviewed Brian in good faith, giving him same consideration and opportunity as every other candidate for our head coaching position in 2019. So there you go.
When I first read that, I was like, I had to double check. I double checked everything to make sure, because I was like, 2019. I thought it was about this year.
Right? Yeah. It's a little bit of both.
Yeah. Well, because in the thing they claimed the 2019 interviews, but I was like, wait a minute. I thought this was like somebody got had, so I went through and looked, and Edward, everybody's using this gentleman who is actually with the NFL Network. Yeah,
Palmer.
James Palmer's with the NFL Network.
Right.
So, again, I just wanted to make sure, because I saw 2019 over and over, and I'm like, is this a joke where somebody was talking about Elway being drunk, and now he's put 2019 in something for 2022?
Yeah, he's still drunk.
So that was my thing.
Drunk for 3 years.
I wanted to double check.
Have you seen John Elway pick quarterbacks? Of course he's a drunk. I mean, seriously. Haven't you watched him make selections of quarterbacks in the draft? Of course he's a drunk. I'm joking. Relax. Take it easy.
Now he's going to have a statement for you.
John, can you dispute the fact that you're a drunk? Because look at the picks at quarterback. You couldn't find a quarterback. Maybe if you were straight, you could find a quarterback. Big O is next on Flo's list. Who files a lawsuit after a 3.5-hour interview? He's so bitter. Man, the worst part is that I'm telling you, this thing's going to drag on forever. I just want Mike McDaniel to get hired, and I want to start talking football, and I can't wait for the draft, and I want to move forward, man. I want to move forward, because this clown show crap is just going to be lingering forever, man. Okay? By the way, the 49er fan, Daniel Luna, he is in a coma after being beaten in the NFC Championship game. And I showed this headline to my wife this morning. Do you know why? We're watching the game, and I tell my wife, somebody will either die or be in a coma after this game. She goes, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you? Why are you saying?" I go, "Because San Francisco and Los Angeles hate each other, and they fight all the time. And people end up getting either killed, coma, broken bones, this and that. And boom, we have a guy in a coma. I don't know what it almost gets to a point like, why are you even going to games anymore? I told my wife I would never take you or my daughter to a game ever unless I had sweet tickets. And that's it. I would not sit in regular stands. Would not. What for? It's not worth it, man. It's just not worth it. Yes?
Ira just tweets out, Heat game, actually 15 minutes ago, Heat game tonight at Spurs moved up to 7 p.m. Eastern due to ice storm. So it's now been moved up. Anybody wanting to catch Heat game tonight?
All right. Well, the good thing is the They'll be turning on the heat, but LeBron won't be in the building to cramp up. So, I couldn't help myself. What do you want me to do? It was there. It was a volley. I had to slam it. Forgive me. We thank Joe Shad, Alan Poupart, Marcel Louis-Jacques, and, of course, we thank Officer Torek Williams. We thank Sean Stanley, the man that puts it all together every single day. We thank all of you out there. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Very important. Yes, sir.
We thank you too, Big O.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for thanking me. But I thank all of you. We will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, by the way, we're at Caneswear. So if you want to come on by and join us in Davie, 2511 South University Drive in Davie, come on out, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. We thank the Brunetti family, as always, Frank Fiore. We did not see Steve Calabro. He did not show up. Oh, you know what? Right, next week he'll show up with the Wise Guys pick. Right, yeah. He doesn't. Right, he's not. Yeah, the Wise Guys aren't picking the Pro Bowl. You're right. Wise Guys are wise guys. They're not picking Pro Bowls. That's why they're wise guys. So they'll give us the Super Bowl. Pro Bowl. But thank you all out there. Thank you, Big D says we do appreciate you. Thank you. I love all of you out there. Don't forget to smash the like button before you go. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. All of that good stuff. We will see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Love you all.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show.